All right, get this started. I was supposed to start a show today with Dolphin guys, but I guess they're not showing up yet. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. Um, Feeling right here, right now. My feelings about tomorrow is that I think friends are gonna have a tough day tomorrow. I think they're in trouble. In fact, I think sometimes when you think you're better than what you are, they got a couple of games to figure this out. I'm gonna tell you right now, they better win Thursday because Seattle's coming week 5 at San Francisco week 6. And then who knows if Cortland Sutton's back with Denver, and then I think Denver will be better than what they've shown. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But right now, they must, must in this game on Thursday. I'm giving them a loss already against Buffalo. Better win Thursday's game for their sake. Because things ain't getting prettier for them. It's not. So Thursday is the game. And I see two scenarios happening. One, if they protect Tua and don't let him play into the two Jet games, that tells me and should tell the fan base with any credibility that they want to protect him. Because their last 4 games ain't easy. Okay? It's not. Kansas City, New England, both at home because they got 3 games in a row, including Cincinnati. And then at Oakland, 2 days after Christmas. And then at Buffalo. But I think they'll play them this week coming up against Jacksonville because the schedule is murder after Jacksonville. So that's going to be a fascinating look for that team. It is fascinating. It's really going to be fascinating for the Dolphins where to go from here. Okay. I didn't like their draft, but then again, who did? Other than the fools that think everything they do is sacred. I look at them and you just wonder where is the talent. You just do wonder where the talent is. I mean, it's like you look at the new regime. Coach is fine. I don't have a problem with him. Good coach. Gets the best out of his players for the most part. So I don't have a problem with him. GM, I have a big problem with. Okay? But he's been here the last 20 years. And from looking at this past draft, it's the same old bullshit where drafts players you don't never heard of, but guys who have a little injury history. Okay. Now, a colleague of mine said this week that they were switching running backs. Doesn't surprise me. Okay? The 2 guys that they have at running back, both, for the most part, damaged goods. The kid they get from the Raiders last week shows some promise, and that's why he's going to start this week. Doesn't surprise me. Just doesn't. Also, Coach Flo is the type of coach that, Larry, get up here, bro. It's the type of coach that know, you just wonder about. Okay? And in my opinion, uh, I really wonder about him. I don't like the talent that he, let's just say, assembles. My first guest is Larry L. He'll be up here in a minute. I expect ball game in here. I expect havoc in here. I expect big time in here. And then we could just rock this for a while. Larry be up here in a minute. What's up, champion? Good afternoon, my good man.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
An afternoon show. You know, when I started mine's. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just had to kill the other YouTube. When you first come on, you come on through YouTube, and both the tabs have you, so you get the echo effect. So I had to eliminate. Anyway, when I first started, man, so I started in the afternoons during the week because it was the most boring time. And we have plenty of shows in the evening, you know that, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's hard to get people to come onto the panel because most people are working and all that stuff. So, but Saturday afternoon, still with COVID-19, I come in for an hour or so because then I got to do my shopping, getting ready for tomorrow's game. So trying to figure out what I'm going to eat tomorrow, man. You know what's happened, Mace? I've gained so much weight since COVID-19, being stuck at home, that I have to cut back. Usually I have something like nice ribs with tons of barbecue sauce and with honey in there.
Bro.
Then I have my garlic butter chicken wings, fried chicken wings. And I eat like 30 of them, not all at one time, during the course of all the games on Sundays, from 12 to 9 o'clock. And I'll be eating, and I just be gaining too much weight. Look at this, man. Wow. Look at
I
that,
know,
buddy.
bro. Look at me. I lost all my weight. Give me a second. Sean Jones, what's up, bro? Come on up. He's usually in TD's room. Come on up, Sean. Talk Dolphins. If you want that, I dropped the link already. Yeah, Larry, that's what you do? You go all out with all your food like that for a Dolphins game?
Hey, Mace. I didn't get like this, okay, by being lazy, okay?
Yeah.
I got this by eating. I love to eat. I'm a saint, man. I'm a saint. I don't drink. Well, I drink a beer, and I do my show just for show. On Friday and Saturday nights, I have beer time or drink time. But generally, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a womanizer.
Not me either. I don't even date, bro. I just stay by myself, man. Hey, Larry, I gotta ask you a question.
Good.
When I dropped you the Salea 1343, did you go in that? Did you go in that yet?
Salea, what was that about? I've been in
Disco,
so many.
all disco. That guy.
Oh yeah, I remember. No, I haven't had a chance.
Check it out, bro.
Yeah, I grew up in disco era.
Me too, bro.
Let me tell you something. Right, all people out there, you know what killed disco? Saturday Night Fever. That's what killed it. Because there was an intimate group. I was in the Bronx, and we had in downtown Manhattan, Queens, where they shot it. All those clubs we knew about, and it was just an intimate group. And it was hanging out. We chased girls, yeah, but it was about dancing. It was us getting dressed up. It was the girls getting dressed up and dancing, having fun. And once in a while, you took them home. But Saturday Night Fever came, destroyed that. Absolutely destroyed it. Became it replaced the singles bars basically, and it was like all singles, and the atmosphere was gone. Absolutely destroyed it. But I loved it before. Loved it before.
Yeah, man. Mom Perry in the chat room. I love you, my brother. That's right. BX for life. Larry L. BX. I'm still here in the BX, Larry. Just chilling, man.
The Bronx.
I'll just going over right before you popped in about what I think about the organization from head to toe. And I was saying about Greer, because this was a big topic the last couple of days in here, man. I mean, Wednesday night, we ran it for 5 hours, man. It was crazy in here Wednesday night with Dolphin guys in here. I said it when it happened. I did not like the way Greer ran the draft. I know. I'm gonna give you the spot in a second. I know that Ross wanted Tua. Because I could tell by the reaction of Flores, that's not who he wanted. I get the feeling he wanted the kid from Clemson at 5, Simmons, that he fits the scheme he runs perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, what do you think of Chris Greer the last 3 years since the Minka Fitzpatrick draft?
Well, we're going to find out the real Chris Greer, okay? First of all, for guys out there that don't have high opinions, you know what? Ross has it because through malfeasant administrations, right? Greer survived. Okay, so clearly that's telling me that the decision when he was there, the decision wasn't here. And if Ross is like me, when I ran an organization, I got everybody's opinions, but I would always have to wait towards my first lieutenants. Okay, so Greer probably let them, I'll go this way, but the team wants to go. I might suggest we go this way. That's how you get to know a person that grows through your organization, right? Yeah. You ask them their opinions. It may not jive with the groups. And this is one thing that you have to understand. Sports is like business, and it's a real problem. Yeah. Behind closed doors, a real good team will always have different opinions, and they'll fight it out. But when you go outside to the public, it's one team, one message. Okay, that's what Trump's problem right now is in politics. He's got all these different teams giving out different messages and creating havoc. But it happens in sports too. So Greer was a team man all the way. So apparently they probably in the draft room, like they probably hashed it out. And Ross was there because he's the owner. And say in the past draft says, I want this. Coach says, I want this guy. The GM, Steve Tenenbaum says, I want this guy. And Greer says, I would probably go with this guy. Okay, so Ross saw that through the years and got to know how he was thinking and said, you know what? He made some sound choice suggestions back then. Maybe this guy is my GM. So that's my take on Greer become GM, because how he survived those prior administrations by all counts, guys, was a failure. Okay, Tatum, you know how you know it's a failure? They're all now ESPN analysts. They only take nothing from failures. Right? Am I wrong? They take every losing coach, every losing GM, they take and put in ESPN because they can't get a job again in the NFL.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying.
So I think that's what happened. So now the Tua trade, I've always had this theory that the Dolphins were never sold 100%, and hear me out, that Tua was the ultimate franchise quarterback. Okay, because if they would have moved up to get him, make sure nobody else got him. Okay, they were like everybody else, unsure, probably because of the injury about Tua. Okay.
Big time, I dropped the link. Come on up. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Yeah. Seriously, I do.
So I think, and I agree with you. I think Flores. I thought, you know what, and I've said this. The only one that agrees with me is TD. I think the Dolphins really wanted Andrew Thomas, but when the Giants took him, then they took Tua, because I think their plan was to build the line first and maybe go with a Jordan Love like in 18.
That's my boy.
Okay, because the fact is, guys, no matter how you do it, you got to have a line around whatever quarterback you have. So there was something, and one of my shows, people disagree. I'll say, no, you can't draft a quarterback before you build. No, you get a franchise quarterback. And I've been saying this day one. I get a lot of flack for it. You may have other needs in your team, but not often do a franchise quarterback comes to you, right? That's right. You got to get him. And what you do is do it smart. Don't do it the Bungles way, okay? You sit him out while you build. That's what I believe is happening here, right? They're building their offensive line to get him in there. So, and that has to be and this is, I think, guys don't misunderstand me. It doesn't have to be a great offense. It just has to be an offensive line that gives them a chance to succeed. Not the ones that like we had last year. Like you take a snap, you turn around, it's a 320-pound beast on your face. You're not going to have any chance to succeed on that. So that was my opinion about that. I don't think they were absolutely sold that he was. I think they were happy to get him without a doubt. Because I think they had concerns like everybody about the injury. So
I agree with that.
So, but I said, look, if he falls into my lap, fantastic. But we're not going to go up and get him. And I don't think I think most teams took that attitude too. They were so scared because when you go up to move and get him, you're going to lose a lot of assets.
I agree.
To do that on a rebuilding team. So that's my opinion. Hey, big time. What's up?
What's up, Larry? How are you, sir?
Yeah, we big time been through all this. He was even in the 5-hour marathon Wednesday night with this. Say your opinion again. I mean, you got your floor now, my brother. Go ahead. Good afternoon, by the way. Go ahead, bro.
How's it going, fellas?
Going good, my friend. Going good.
I want
Hey,
you
I'm
to.
awake, bro. I got my hair cut. Told you I was going
I
to show
see
my
it,
face
man.
today.
Got a little look at you, man. You're looking good.
Thank you, bro. I told you guys I was going to come up today. Didn't I tell you guys that? So I
Yeah,
said, guys, when I
I
came
get my
up.
hair cut every day practically if I want.
There you go. There you go, Larry. Looking good too. Looking good too. I
Hey,
got a chance to look at you yesterday a little bit before I went to Mace's. I came into Mace, and you got a little show over there. You're doing pretty good over there.
Mhm.
So, just quick question for you off base, just real quick. When you first got on the TD's panel, you were sitting there, giving your opinion and stuff like that, and like everybody else. And TD came to you. He sat there and he said, hey, anytime you want, you thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I'll help you out. And he said, I'm retired and I just, I'm not really looking into doing something like that. I'd rather just enjoy my time. And then, not too long after that, you decided to start. Why did you decide to start?
One word with hyphen COVID-19.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
Hey, I'm retired, and even being retired, I was still having trouble keeping myself busy, right? So, but I was content when TD or Reason let people on and come on board and talk and chat. But COVID-19 came, and I'm at home literally in the afternoons doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I got me thinking, because I did say that, I got me thinking. I say, why not do it? Maybe there's a lot of people like me. So my intention was actually to do an afternoon show during the week.
Yeah.
To get a hold of other retirees, other people like me that has time during the week. The problem is it was very popular for people to view it. Okay. I got excellent viewership numbers, but it was hard to get people on the panel. And my show is purely panel based. Okay. I am not TD. I cannot sit there for an hour with the gift of gab, like that. He has a topic and he can make an hour show out of it. I can't do that. I'm one that I need to converse with people and change ideas to get me going. So I would have an excellent amount of viewerships, but because these were people that were working, or doing something around me. A few of them were even going to pick up the kids from school and all that stuff, but very few were able to come on. And that was my problem. So that's why I switched it over to evening, where I got most of the people there. My guys out there, you don't know, my show, it's panel based. Okay, it's fans. When I first started there, I said it's supposed to be fins with an S, and then I mistakenly put fans in there, and I thought, that's what it's about. It's the fans. So you like basically, we come up here, we give our opinions. There's a bunch of Miami Dolphin fans. Different is I have no agenda. Okay, so I come up with, well, I say I don't, but I do have some talking points to get it started. Once it gets started, it goes whichever way. We talked about in the past. We talked about leadership. Instead of Miami football, I got into leadership skills, politics, which I'm steering from because it's too so toxic right now. Family. We talked about family. Everything we talked about, even gambling with Pete down there.
Yo, what's up, Larry?
What's up, Pete?
Mace? What's going on, big time? Hey,
Good afternoon, my friend.
Hey, check this out. Hold on, y'all.
Pete.
Larry, didn't I tell you when you first came up with this thought process that you said you're going to let guys go in your room and just give up their opinion and thoughts and everything? Man, I just love this format that we're able to, even if we're not even showing our face. I'm telling you right now, you guys don't want to see my face. I've been working out. But look.
Gotta be better than mine.
But look, you, Mace, Larry, keep it up, fellas, because I love the show. Both of you are the same, but totally different at the same time, and it's going to always be Dolphin. And just keep it up, guys, because I do appreciate both of you letting us fans, because we are crazy Fin fans, giving us our thought process and opinions. And like Larry likes to say, I'm about 98% wrong of the time, but hey, I love it. Because at the end of the day,
you know what I always say about Pete? He's 98% wrong time, but he's not way out there because it's always possible. Okay, so like he loves the Cam Newton and say, "Oh, Cam Newton's going to be comeback player of the year," and I'm saying, "Come on, really? It's possible. Somebody is always elected comeback player of the year, right?
Yeah.
So it's possible, but I doubt it. Because Cam wasn't a great thrower to begin with. And it's lost a lot of athleticism.
Well, like I said 11 hours ago to everybody in the room. I had a packed house last night. I do this for you guys, not for me, for you guys, so you guys can. Leisure of Next, I've dropped the link for you because I do it for you guys because I always wanted to do sports radio. So when I saw how guys were doing their stuff, I said, hey, if I can get in it, I'll do it. But I'll do it to have fun. And I,
Sir.
big time, you've been with me just about every night. How long I've been doing? Like 5-6 hours a night, bro?
That's how we started over there at Larry's, bro.
Yeah.
How big time? About five. I've been doing like 5-6 hours a night, and I let the panel rock. I mean, Pete, I'm sorry about last night, but it was lit last night, man. And what I realized was, in ball game was with
Hey,
me
mate,
all
you want me
night
to be
long.
honest with you, what happened with me last night? I
Yeah,
had
go
to
ahead.
log out and get into that same debate about the women in sports with my wife last night for about an hour, bro.
Oh my God, I'm
Took me
sorry
off of your
about
show
that,
and we
man.
went
I'm
at it,
sorry
bro.
about that. Yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
I don't think I
all
want to
y'all
get into that
fault.
debate, especially if you have a woman around
Oh
you.
man, you know, and last night the Miami Heat with ball game had that panel lit, man. The haters came out about the Heat. Because I said, hey, what if the Heat beats LA in the finals? You're going to have to give Pat Riley his due.
I gotta back out, man. I hear pop rocks. I'm sorry, it's me.
All right,
Yeah,
bro.
thank you. I thought it was only me that happened
Yo,
when you're on my
yo,
show.
pop back out and come back in. Yeah, man. You know, last night me and Ball Game was talking about Pat Riley, and the room was lit. Okay, you had guys say, "Oh, nah, he did nothing," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me, man."
Yeah, I was there. Remember, I talked about Riley, how he's the greatest coach of all time. You know why? Because he wins no matter what style you throw at him, no matter what rules, he finds a way to win. Okay, great coaches like a Popovich. Yeah, but he did it at Belichick, but he did it with Brady. You know, let's see how great. All I remember Belichick was before Brady was Cleveland, and that was disastrous. Okay, so let's see what he does after Brady. You can't go by the one game we had the other week, but let's see. You know, I think he's a great. But when you're a great coach, to me, you're what one of the things characteristics to have is that you're adaptable. You take whatever you're given, talent wise, and you get the most out of them. Okay, and so Riley was always that. He always found teams that at least went to the conference final. Okay, always found him. Okay, like I said before, he had the Showtime Lakers, a high-powered offense. He had the Bugs and Thugs in New York.
The Bugs and Fogs in New York.
The Bugs and Thugs. Hey, when your three top players is Charles Oakley,
Oh,
Anthony
shit.
Mason, and John Starks, okay,
Yeah.
they're known for being thugs more than. And I don't mean criminally thugs. You know what I mean? I mean they're football players on the basketball court, basically.
Legion of Knicks, you got a comment about that? That's your squad.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't agree. I'm proud as hell of my thugs and bugs or what is it?
I was too back. Remember, I was a Knicks fan back then, guys. I was proud of them too. And I'm just pointing out. Then Riley comes to New York. He has a quasi young thug squad with a Shaquille O'Neal, more talent, less thuggery. He wins the championship. Then he wins with the three superstars. Okay, and playing basically just superstar basketball. They had lousy players around them, so they had no real system. They just played Wade and LeBron and Chris Bosh, but they played defense. So that's the first. Those two teams, the Thugs and Muggs and Wade, and then Shaq and Wade, and then LeBron and Wade, all played defense.
You know what I thought about that group? To be honest with you, I'm gonna go to the Legion of Knicks big time. Let's take off your mic when you're ready, bro. You know what I thought about that team? Honestly, they underachieved. Number one, they was lucky to win both championships. Number two, but you know what helped that team a lot? LeBron was in his prime.
Yeah.
That really helped them because LeBron, I think, went there. He was like 24 years old. So that really helped the Heat.
Oh, without doubt. Guys, the roster around them was terrible. Okay.
Well, no.
Yeah, the best player they had was Mike Miller, always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And an aging Udonis. Okay. Not even he was maybe 75% of what he was throughout most of his career. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it. After that, I dare you to name me any quality player after Norris Cole.
I
The
agree
best
with
thing
this.
about Norris
but
Cole
they-
was a flat top haircut, which I love, by the way.
Facts.
But you still had guys. I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that team. I agree with Mace. They underachieved big time because when you get a guy like, first of all, you had two
LeBron
stars
is
around
prime.
LeBron James who dumbed down their games to fit LeBron James. Chris Bosh was a 20-10 guy in Toronto.
Yeah,
He
That's
was
right.
literally probably top 3, top 5 power forwards in the game
right.
at that time before he came from the Heat.
Sure
And
was.
he dumbed down his game to become a perimeter shooter just to make LeBron comfortable. Dwayne
And the
Wade
scapegoat down there too, bud.
and the scapegoat.
Oh,
as well,
bro,
too.
I don't know. The real Heat fans, Bosch is not. Look, guys, Bosch. There was a question going to Bosch. Should Bosch be a Hall of Fame number? So I put out one time these numbers: a career 17 points, 18 points average per game per season, a career 9 rebounders, a career 2.1 blocks. Does that belong in the Hall of Fame?
But guys, you're
No,
saying
I'm
it
asking
belongs in
a
the Hall of
question.
Fame.
Does that belong in the Hall of Fame?
Give me the trajectory that he had when he was on Toronto. He had
I
to
know.
change his
That's his
game
career
up for
numbers.
LeBron.
I'm asking you a question. You can expand on later, but it was
Okay,
the
but
Hall
there's
of
no
Fame.
context.
Is that
All right.
numbers
Okay, yeah,
the Hall
it's
of
not
Fame?
Hall of Fame numbers. It's not.
Okay, but you know what it is, because I didn't give you Chris Bosh's numbers. That was James Worthy's numbers, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Guys, he was the third wheel. A third wheel is not going to get big numbers, just like James Worthy. But real basketball people know the value of Chris Bosh. And yes,
I
the
agree.
offensive game he sacrificed, but he upped his level defensively, and that was the key to one of the. Now, I agree with you. It should have been 3 championships because LeBron James went AWOL in the first year. Remember that, guys? He went AWOL. I don't know what the hell happened to him. I think he choked on it or whatever.
No, I can
That's
tell
all.
you why.
Go ahead. I know,
It's the fallacy of you have to allow your superstar to do whatever they want, right? So
Mhm.
I did a video on this, right? And LeBron James, again, after that championship against the Mavericks, what
Love
did he
you,
do?
Dolph.
He went down to work with Olajuwon, worked on his post game, and his post production went up dramatically in terms of post production relative to the rest of his points, right? I think his points kind of stayed the same, but he worked down low a lot, and that's why that OKC series, even though OKC was very young, if you watch LeBron James, a lot of his highlights weren't him just coming from the wing or the top of the key and dunking on people. It was him operating from the post.
Yeah, I know that.
And so that's why, and I say the thing with LeBron James is like, with those championships, yeah, the Maverick series, yeah, he came in because he thought he could come in like he was with Cleveland, where he could just come from up top, don't have to work off ball, and just bully guys. And they played that way the Mavericks played that zone on him. They shut all that dumb ish down, man. So again, LeBron James, to me, when you say his teams weren't stacked, I totally disagree because
no, they weren't. Come on, really? Come on.
There's no stacked team.
It's stacked because I'm talking about after the big 3. Okay, after that,
well,
come on,
really?
what
else would you need?
Come on, really?
It's not an all-star team he's playing with. If you have 3 big Hall of Fame type of talents around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the rest of that team filled with proper role players: Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Ray Allen when he came over. I understand Norris Cole wasn't great, but Mario Chalmers also hit some big shots. Now, was he out?
Yeah, but I'm talking about guys. He was in the NBA Finals 4 years. The first year he did not have Shane Battier and these guys. That came in the second year. That's when they won 2 out of 3. Okay,
Luckily.
But the first year they didn't have these guys, Shane Battier, Ray Allen, or anything.
They had
like Carlos Arroyo. Okay, I'm trying to remember the other guy, Norris Cole.
Carlos Arroyo killed it in the FIBA games, man. I still remember him fucking over Kobe. Don't forget that. I remember
he has a beautiful wife, Miss Puerto Rico. Don't forget that too.
Have you been to Puerto Rico, man? Puerto Rico.
Of course, I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know, Larry.
So yeah, Norris Cole.
Bad,
I try to remember who else they had there, but man, they had nobodies. Oh, Eric Curry, remember that one?
Yeah.
Larry, those first 2 years, it wasn't stacked. I'll give you that.
Hey, Larry, do me a favor. Tell Legion of Knicks what you're going to be preparing tomorrow for the Dolphin game to eat, bro. Incredible.
Don't say what is it, Magoo or
I don't know, guys. That's what I'm saying. I gotta go and buy the stuff right after I leave here.
All right, what did you have last week?
You know what I'm thinking about? For some reason, I have the urge for tacos. I may be making shrimp tacos.
There you go. I mean, my man puts on a feast for himself and his wife and his family who watches the games with him. It's incredible, man.
Me too. But I gained so much weight. I have to stop, guys. I have to stop.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like when you cook all that food, right? And if the Dolphins lose, do you feel depressed, like you don't want to eat the food anymore?
Hell no.
Okay, all right.
Guys, I gotta work on this figure, okay? Hell no, man. Hell no.
Oh man.
There's eating and
man.
there's sports. Those two will never meet.
I
Okay,
got
I'll
you,
always
man.
eat. I'll always watch sport.
Dolph, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you're in the chat room, man. Keep supporting. I love you, bro. Let me get back to football. Big time, man. Take off your mic so you can get into this conversation instead of always being mute. I'm gonna start
talk
with
about why
this.
I screwed over Josh Rosen, man. I thought he was going to become the quarterback of the Dolphins, man.
I tell you, Bruce Arians is going crazy that he got Josh Rosen.
Yeah. Pocket
You already say it's
quarterback.
gonna be Brady's heir apparent.
I think so.
I do too, and I think he's gonna do well under Bruce.
And I'll say this. This might be a hot take. This might be controversial. I feel if Josh Rosen came over to that team, say Tom Brady wasn't the big guy. It was Bruce. It was Josh Rosen, right?
Yeah.
He had a full and there was a full preseason. He was integrated to the team. He was given trust.
Yeah.
To go through that team. I think that that first game against the Saints, I think the Bucs would have had a better shot at beating them.
I'm gonna say
Tom
this.
Brady can't make certain throws anymore. I'm telling you.
I agree with you.
I'm a Jets fan. I've watched Tom Brady last year. Yeah. I was so pissed that we couldn't take advantage because he benefits so much from James White, Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead. He benefits so much from that dink and dunk, come out the backfield, block chip. He benefits so much from those running backs and Belichick's coaching. But his arm strength going downfield, I'm telling you, go watch that Giants game he had. And I was surprised the Giants didn't beat him last year. He was wobbling throws to open receivers. It was like, oh, he might.
Right, Larry.
Well, guys, in case you don't know, I actually live in Tampa. Okay, so I'm here and I'm watching Brady. No, I think the smartest move the Bucs have made was signing Fournette. I agree with you. Brady needs a running game. Okay, so short passer, not a long passer.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to need a running game. It's going to kind of be a waste of talent. Well, maybe not. If you establish the running game, the short passing game, so every once in a while you take a shot with Evans and Godwin, you get downfield, maybe. But I agree with you. If he has to throw the ball a lot, he has to throw it deep. They're dead in the water.
Hey, can I ask you a question real quick on Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
I know you're a Dolphins fan. Why the F don't they like O.J. Howard?
It kind of just, you know why? They see all that talent and no production. Okay, so I should say no limited production. Okay, yeah, and part of it I think is just that you see it here, guys. We're talking about Fitz and what happened to him here. He falls in love with Devontae Parker and Preston Williams, and doesn't even look at the other players. I think part of it that's what happened there. Jameis Winston, Fitzpatrick, they love to gun the football downfield, and they love Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and the one they had before, Brett Perriman, and the other receiver they had before. So So I think that's what happened in part. Okay, so and you're seeing that with Fitz played out, but O.J. Howard, no, he should be more involved in the offense. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I'm here and I watch all their games, but I'm a Dolphin fan first. If they're clashing at 1:00, I'm watching my Fins. No way, I'm watching Tampa. But I see most of their games. Okay, I see most of their games, the Tampa games.
Oh, gee, you want to come up? Come up.
Yeah, and they won. How many games the Patriots won last year? 12 games.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Buccaneers are a much better team than the Patriots are. Okay, much better.
I think, on paper, I think they are. I just think that quarterback situation, I watched those receivers with Tampa Bay, and it's like it is not what Tom Brady needs right now. I think he overestimated. I think his ego got in the way because he saw that Belichick loved Garoppolo. That Garoppolo was basically a young Brady, but probably even better, coming out of college. And he was like, screw this. And he went away from the blanket system that was there with the Patriots. I'm telling you, those receivers, because Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, those guys, I mean, they are downfield threats. And Brady's going to suffer. Now, you got Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, if he comes into his own, because he had a pretty shit first quarter, rookie season.
What's up, brother?
But I'm telling you, Bruce Arians, and it's going to blow up where Bruce Arians is saying stuff now in public, it's going to get worse.
I agree with that because I've followed Bruce since he was in Indianapolis when he was with Peyton Manning. That was 20 years ago. And he's very hard on his quarterbacks. And if he don't like what he sees, we're going to have a problem. Now, again, when he got Rosen, he came out and said it. This will be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. I'm Josh. Did you hear what Josh Rosen said? Since
he
he's
said?
been in Tampa,
What,
he said, "I've learned more from Tom Brady in one day than I did anywhere else in my career." That's a shot at Ryan
I said that
Fitzpatrick.
here too, guys. I'm gonna keep it real. Hey, I've never been a Josh Rosen hater. Okay,
me
I'll
neither.
tell
I
you
actually
this,
like him coming out of
but
UCLA.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. I was just saying I agree. I like them too, man. Come out of
Okay,
UCLA.
but this is the deal. I think the Dolphins were smart to draft Tua because to me, Josh Rosen, he may be a dinosaur in his type of quarterback play today. Okay, basically, it's strictly a pocket passer. You don't see that across the league anymore. The only ones you see are the veterans like Brady and Manning and stuff like that, pure stiffs in the pocket before paying. Because you know why? Because they were smart. They could read defenses. And Rosen comes in there, young quarterback, doesn't know how to read defenses, not going to get a chance because he's going to be blitzed to the dog. On top of all that, I did a stat on in the pocket when he had a clean pocket. Rosen was as good as anybody in the NFL. Problem is, once he got pressure, once he just forced to move, he totally inaccurate, one of the worst. And so that's what you're faced when you have a Rosen. You have to have an offensive line that gives him a clean pocket. Okay, because once he moves, forget about it. And that's not good in today's NFL. Okay, because maybe in the old days you could have gotten away with it because it wasn't a so-called passing league. Okay, but you know, as I know, everybody and the mother are coming up with new designs to create pressure on the quarterback.
Right.
Okay? And I think today's game have a lot more pressure on the quarterback than prior year's game. So I'm not saying you have to have a running quarterback, not at all. But because Pat Mahomes is technically not a running quarterback, but you have to have a mobile quarterback that can move out of the pocket, extend the plays, and get away from pressure and make the plays. I'm doing that. And that's not Rosen. Okay, so I said Rosen may be the highest level and you brought up the name already. I see him at a Garoppolo type level, no more higher than that. Where Fitz, Tua, I see as, and I like a lot of people. Yeah, I know everybody's saying it, but it's because it's true. I think he's more closer to Drew Brees. You know, that he takes the short to intermediate plays, can throw long, but he's mobile enough that he can move well in the pocket and extend plays out.
Big
That
time.
gave him a big advantage.
Big time. You here, bro? Big time.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to step away.
Damn time, bro. Why don't you give your opinion on this, man?
I had to step away. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Legion?
Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, go ahead, big time. Give your opinion about Rosen.
I mean, I don't know what there's not too much to say about him. I mean, I'm not type of guy to sit there and put these young quarterbacks down because I feel that there's a lot more involved than them being developed by their coaching staff. That if they're drafted by this team, are they really good fit for the team? I feel that that's something that's being missed. They're just drafting a quarterback because they need one, but does that quarterback really they really fit into the scheme that that you want, or are you fitting a scheme around the quarterback? And I don't feel that they just pick them kind of like Cleveland does. You just pick a quarterback and you hope for the best. You can't do that. So I don't truly blame the quarterbacks in that sense, even if they are not as good as they show them to be. But Rosen is what it is. I'm glad that he's in a place where he can learn. He better pick up a whole lot from Tom Brady, because if he doesn't, he won't last too much longer in the NFL.
No, I agree there.
Hey, Larry, here's a question for you. You have been here last few days. This is a fascinating question. Here you go. Let's say the Dolphins finish 2 picks in the top 5. Okay, Houston's and theirs. Trevor Lawrence Fields is on the board. Do you take one of them, or you just go in another direction?
Honestly, I'm talking about our pick. I don't care about Houston's pick. If our pick is a top 5 pick, then there's a serious question about Tua. Okay, serious question about Tua.
You do realize that. Was it you who said that you won't play him this year, or somebody else said that?
No.
All right, so here you go.
Rhino, if you know, Rhino's the one that's been champion.
Yeah, I gotta get Rhinos up here. Here's a question for you then. if what week would you play Tua? Let's say you have another bad week this week against Buffalo and Fitzpatrick struggles bad. Do you play him against Jacksonville and let him play?
No, not Thursday. Only under extreme circumstances. Maybe if he plays badly, this Fitz played really bad in the first half, and you bring him in the second half. But unless Fitz really stink it up, okay, no way. It's too short, guys. On a Thursday game, whether you realize it or not, they don't even practice. Teams don't even practice during the week on a Thursday game. So how are you going to get him some reps with the first team getting ready for the game? So,
Okay, my man Paul G says O-line and D-line he's worried about. Tua can sling it, and no. Paul G, you want to come up? I'll put the link, bro. I didn't know you were such a Dolphins fan, unless you're a sports fan. Come up, bro.
yeah,
Put the link in.
is fine. Don't. I don't know what makes you want the show all Dolphin talk today.
Yeah, bro. It's what it's about, man.
Is he even fully healed, bro? Tua?
Okay.
Yeah, again, Legion.
Is
I want
Tua
some heat
even
too,
fully
man.
healed from the hip injury?
Yeah, he's good. He's good to go.
You know, stop. That
No,
drives
I'm
me
asking. I don't know. I'm just
Guys,
asking.
stop. Okay, you know, everybody that knows me knows I hate our beat reporters. Okay, they put that crap out there because they need clicks. Okay,
Yeah.
well, the doctor, a specialist that one of the best in the country, certifies him okay for football activities. People are saying, well, what's football activity? It's hitting somebody's getting hit. Okay, dude, that's football activities. When a doctor of that stature, and then your team doctor says he's good for football activity, he's good for football to play football. Okay, that's all I need to know. So any other thing is stop. And people say, well, the doctor could be doing it. No, because they're putting their reputation and their license when they make a statement like that out there. Okay, the doctor's clearly said about his hip. The only way he's going to re-injure it is if through the same freak occurrence happens again, which is a total freak occurrence. It had nothing to do with how strong or weak his hip had. The way it was hit, totally freak, and that's how it broke. So stop, guys. Tua is healthy. Okay,
Yeah,
he's
that's
in
what I
shape.
told him, yeah.
Okay,
He's
what
ready.
he proved is that he's in shape in the camp. We see that. So what's holding him back? You know, I've said it before. I'm not in Flores. This is me, my opinion, right? I would not put Tua in until the offensive line proves to me that it gives them a chance to succeed.
Okay, we'll see him next season.
But it's not just Tua; it's any young quarterback.
We'll see him next season. Then if they
don't get.
Hey,
if the offensive line played well, and I'm saying be careful, it's fool's gold. If they play as well as they did against the Pats, against the Bills, or at least just half as decent, they only give up a few more pressures. No, that's not going to hold him back. I'm going to put Tua in, but it's not going to be against not enough time. So it's going to be against Seattle.
Okay. Paul G, bring Tua in now gives them no benefit. Facts. He says you bring him against the Chargers. Smart. I would agree with that. Larry L is smart. That was a compliment to you, Larry. That's from Paul G.
No, guys, you know, that's me.
Paul G, I love you, bro.
And you know what? And nobody's wrong, Paul G. I've said that before. Rhino's not wrong. All of these are legitimate options a team have. But to me, Tua, I see Tua in college. I love the way he plays the game. He's the kind that should come in. He's not one of these flame-throwing Justin Herberts that just throw the ball deep downfield. No, he always thinks about his passes. Always look, if the short pass is there, he'll take it. That's very rare for a young quarterback. So all these things, to me, Tua will succeed in the NFL. How much he'll succeed, that's left to be determined.
Okay, Big time, what you think?
He was born to be a quarterback. But, guys, we'll see how much he succeeds.
All right, big time. Your thoughts on Tua, in your opinion.
So, Larry, you're saying that you wouldn't take a quarterback in the first round next year?
No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, if our pick, and I'm not talking about Houston, I'm talking about our pick. If we're the top 5, is because we were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if we were terrible, Tua's going to get in at some point. Also means Tua was terrible too. Mm-hmm. More than likely, he's not our franchise quarterback.
Oh, and I'll tell you right now, the 2 guys, matter of fact, 4 guys. In next year's draft, including the kid who could be the best of all of them from North Dakota State. He's the real deal. If I'm the Dolphins, and I've been saying this all week on this platform, if they're as bad as I think they're going to be, okay, with that schedule, I'm leaning towards Fields or Trevor Lawrence, and I'm there. I'm moving forward
Yeah,
because
I'm not
we
in
have
on
a.
Fields. I'm not in on Fields, but
Uh,
one season I saw him, I'm not in yet. Now we get to see him in another
Understandable,
season.
but my
Yeah.
point is, we can afford. See, guys like big time. He doesn't understand what me and you think, and Legion's a Jet fan. But my point is, we have enough draft capital that we can draft another big time quarterback and just move forward. You agree with that, Larry?
Oh, absolutely. Go back to my show.
Yeah.
I said Tua was well worth the gamble. It was one of the few teams
go.
in the NFL that if you thought it was a gamble, they could take with Tua because they're a total
Facts.
rebuild, but they also had a lot more capital. This unprecedented. Okay.
Yeah, if it was
Number one
if,
team that has much capital, draft capital, and cap
As we
space
do.
2 years in a row.
and this is the big time. If we only had one pick next year, big time, one pick, I agree with your thinking. We can't do it. Okay, we have to stick with this kid. But because we have 2 1s and 2 2s, we can afford to pass on this kid, get a Trevor Lawrence, and move forward. You agree with that,
Okay.
big time?
So I understand your all's points, and I respect it, and I can see that point of view. But I'm going to take you a little bit back in the past. All right, let's go to Dallas Cowboys when Jimmy Johnson was there. They draft Troy Aikman. They have a horrible offensive line. He goes 1-14 or 2-14, I think. Interceptions galore compared to touchdowns. The guy
Steve Walsh a year later, by the way.
What's that?
He drafted Steve Walsh a year later from the U.
Miami.
Steve Walsh. Let's talk about Steve Walsh. There's nothing to say about Steve Walsh. There you go.
I'm just saying that Jimmy picked him.
I'm just playing.
He wasn't sold on Aikman yet.
Right. Well, here's the thing. This is what I'm getting to. My point is that they had drafts upon drafts as well the next following year, building their team as well. If you look at Aikman and how he struggled so horribly because of the offensive line they even had an interview with him. He stated that he started losing confidence in himself. All right, he was questioning if he could even actually stay be on that level and play the game. He was losing himself, but he had a coach within Jimmy Johnson sitting in his ear saying, "Listen, I trust in you. All right. I believe in you. You're not going anywhere. You're going to be our quarterback, and I'm going to ride you until I die." That's how I seen it, because honestly, I don't think Aikman would have been the quarterback he was if he didn't have a coach like Jimmy Johnson. That's my opinion. Now we go
and also the Herschel Walker trade. I mean, they got that they had so many. That O line is I mean,
well,
that Cowboys
address
O-line.
that. Okay.
Give me one more thing. So we go to Tua. If we draft Tua, which I understand that we had an opportunity to see if he's a bust or not, and taking that risk because of the picks we have in the future. But we play with this kid's with this kid's heart, and then we just go ahead and throw him to the wolves. Then shame on us, because we're not giving him enough time. A kid like this is going to need at least 2 years. And if he doesn't do well, then it is what it is. Then either one, I feel that the coach is not in his ear, giving him the compliments and giving him the assurance that he's the kid. And I think that's another issue and a huge problem with many quarterbacks in this league that come out as a rookie that don't have coaches that sit there and say, "You are the man and you're not going anywhere," because they expect them to have a quick turnaround within a year. That's unacceptable. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay, Larry, I got a question for you.
Hold on, Ace. Hold on. I got to respond to that. Okay. Guys, when I say the record, remember, what determines a franchise is not always about records. The coaches know every day what they got in this guy, okay? And they'll make that determination if it's the guy coming forward, okay? Obviously, Jimmy Johnson saw something in Troy Aikman that he can't. And he still hedged his bet because he still drafted Steve Walsh. Okay, I just want to point that out. Okay, so yeah, but chances are this team has talent and it's going to gel together, right? I don't see us being a 2-win, 3-win team this year. No way.
Well, let me ask you this:
the only way to 2 if we have disastrous playing quarterback from both Tua and Fitz, and that brings up the Tua issue.
Larry, let me ask you this question.
Larry, really quick, why does that matter? Because Troy Aikman was horrible 2 years in a row. If it by any other coach besides Jimmy Johnson, because I think Jimmy Johnson was just that guy that had the belief in Troy Aikman, any other coach would have dropped him, and we wouldn't say Troy Aikman was a All Pro or in the Hall of Fame. We wouldn't be even talking about Troy Aikman. So to not give Tua a chance within 2 years, that's ridiculous, though.
No, I'm not saying no. First of all, we're in a unique position that no other team has been in recent memory, at least, right? Back-to-back heavy draft capital, okay? That's number one. When we got Rosen and we still drafted Tua, people were saying, why are you doing that? Well, I said, that's great. We get 2 bites of the apple, right? Rosen, we took the first bite of the Rosen's apple, it's sour, threw it away. Now we're hoping Tua's there. What I'm saying here, guys, first of all, you have to understand Miami's unique position, okay? Normally, when you draft a quarterback number 1 or top 5, you're stuck with him, good or bad. Miami Dolphins are not. So that answers your Troy Aikman question, because whenever quarterbacks, and he was number 1 pick in the draft, whenever quarterbacks are picking, teams don't give him up until all the way up to the end of their rookie contract year. Mm-hmm. They don't. They get stuck with it, one or the other. Now, Johnson, I remember Walsh was a 3rd-round pick, so obviously he was concerned about, at least if nothing else, something about Troy.
No, he got Walsh in supplemental draft. Yeah, he gave up a 3rd for him.
It wasn't right. Yeah. Right, it was like a 3rd-round supplemental, something like that.
Here's my question to you, Larry, and this will fascinate you. We're going to lead you to Knicks back up here. But before we do, Mr. Miami was with us at 2 o'clock in the morning last night, man. What up, Dolphins family? How you doing today? Wow. How you feeling today? I'm blessed, Brother Mace and Brother Larry. How y'all doing today? How you all feeling today? I'm blessed. That's to all of us. Paul G said, but he don't like Trevor Lawrence either. The Herschel Walker trade, yes, but Nate Newton and the other O-line was already there. But here's to Larry. You think if we do things right in this draft coming up, this can be the new Herschel Walker trade for us? Because let's be honest.
Oh, I see. Trade our number 1 pick, or have we got that?
No, we did that with Houston with Tunsil. Let's be honest.
Right.
We can roll this trade in our favor dramatically. Even, and this is up to big time too, and Legion of Knicks. Even if we got Trevor Lawrence, let's say next year, we that bad. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. We can change. We can roll these 2 drafts also. You agree with that, Larry? Yeah. Like it will be like in our favor, and Bill O'Brien will be a fool for giving us all
guys,
that.
I'm talking about just guys. Everybody has really short memory. It just happened. I'm talking about rolling one quarterback for the other. If it doesn't work out, we have really, really short memory here, because that's exactly what the Cardinals did. Okay, and they were right. Kyler Murray was just too special of a talent to pass up. And they were right. So that's my point. You know, they got to get a good look at Tua. They got to get a real good look at Tua. Guys, I'm rooting hard. I love the kid. I think he has a makeup that we haven't seen the other quarterbacks in a long time. So I think that's special, but he's got to show it there. Okay, he seems to have natural leadership ability. Always a big plus on a quarterback.
Larry,
they have that. I'm saying they have that fallback next year.
But
that was a great point you made. Legion, I'm going to give it to you in 1 second.
All right, my bad.
That was a great point you made about getting rid of Rosen and bringing in Kyler Murray. Outstanding point, Larry, by you. Go ahead, Legion.
Yeah, first of all, I'm enjoying all this. And I just want to say because I was thinking the same thing with the Jets, man. Like, unfortunately, we have probably one of the worst ownerships in all of sports, period. And I like the GM, but the coach is terrible. And if we keep Gase, I don't know why we would. I would have to say for us to go after Trevor Lawrence. And I think it's almost similar in your case as well, too, where, look, if Trevor Lawrence is there for you guys to take, and because remember, Tua had a lot of help at Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, I saw those guys the other night.
Trevor Lawrence.
Looks good.
So does Trevor Lawrence.
That is a non-factor. By the way, when I rate Tua, it's not because of Alabama. First of all, he has something that only God gives you. Okay, extreme accuracy and touch. It just naturally doesn't matter, guys. And I always use this. So they hit Henry Rugg coming across on a slant, and he's 5 yards open. Well, you know what? He puts it on the dime. So he's going to do the same thing with King Grant, who only is half a yard open. He puts it on the dime. He's going to do it. That's God-given accuracy, something Josh Allen doesn't have. as an example, okay? And they have
Yeah.
to do that. So there was all these little intangibles that you see in a quarterback. You know he has it. So
Do you think that okay? But then take that right. Do you see that in Trevor Lawrence? Because Trevor Lawrence also has an arm and he has moxie.
And speed. And
and-
speed.
yeah, he
Come
has
on.
moxie. His accuracy, I don't think is as good as Tua's, but then we'll see. Let's see how well he.
I
but
think
it's
Tua
very
had.
good.
I think Tua had touch because I remember watching Alabama games. I said this guy doesn't have the strongest of arms, but he puts it right where a lot of times where
You know who he reminds me of? And I hate to say this to Larry.
Yeah.
You know who he reminds me of? And you're gonna go like, let me think about it. Remind me of Bob Greasy a little bit.
Who?
Tua.
Nah.
Bob Greasy had great accuracy and touch, man.
Yeah, but you know what? He also had a great team.
No, I'm
helped.
talking about Greasy got better after those great players left Miami. But he had a young Nat Moore, Dario Harris, Delvin Williams.
I'm gonna have to back out on that, Mace, because even though I did see that, I wasn't football savvy enough to notice the difference.
I'm a Greasy guy. That's why I say it, bro.
Okay.
He's my favorite quarterback ever, bro. I'm a big Bob Greasy believer, disciple, bro.
Hey,
Bob
Greasy.
That's who Tua reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't see enough. I didn't remember enough of Greasy. Back then, I was a Jet fan too, so you got to remember that.
Paul
I was
G
so young.
compares Tua. He has Aaron Rodgers' touch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, the difference is Rodgers has a gun for an arm, and Tua has a strong arm. Guys, we gotta back out of these concepts. Oh, strong arm. No, Tua's strong. He has an arm is more than strong enough to handle that. And in fact, the only teams that even have to worry about strong arm quarterbacks are teams like Buffalo and the stadiums they
and
play.
the Giants.
And the stadiums that they play with wins are constant problem. You need a quarterback that has a strong arm that can throw that tight spiral. So the win is affected. Other than that, it's not a big factor.
Now, I'm going to be fair. I'm not a Tua fan. But the film I saw on him, he is very accurate and pinpoint accurate. I'll give him that. I'm just being honest. I'll give Tua that. On film, when I saw him, I said, oh, okay. All right. That's exactly what I said. So the kid got touch and he got accuracy. I'll give him that. Mm-hmm. My problem with him is injuries too much. That's my problem with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's everybody's problems. Well, that's why I don't think teams wanted to move up and get him because they didn't want to risk it's one thing to risk a number 5 pick when you have 18 and 26 and 2 number 1s next year. But it's something else if you're the Chargers and you have a good team overall, shouldn't have been as bad as they were, and you got one shot at number 6. And then to move up to get ahead of Dolphins for a quarterback that you have to worry about injuries, they would have to give it up to get at least a second round and a third round to move up if they want to get to that game with the Dolphins. So yeah. I think like I said, the injury was the concern with Tua. Now the good thing is the major injury that we're talking about was a fluke. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
The under injuries. It's hard to say he's like TD likes to say he's not injury prone as he's much prone to injury. So he has to learn how to throw away the clock in his head or whatever, get out of the pocket, quick scans, nothing open, either run with it or throw it away. Don't stay in the pocket behind the line of scrimmage where somebody's going to eventually run you down like a big defensive tackle, which is how he got hurt in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so learn from Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick goes when he scrambles, he looks upfield, and while he scrambles, he doesn't see anything there. It just takes off.
Yeah,
do that too. Don't stop. Okay, to see if you can find somebody else when you're out of the pocket because you're gonna get creamed.
Paul G says
that big old guys try to hunt you down.
Yeah, Paul G says Kyler Murray threw to wide open receiver. Mr. Miami says Steve DeBerg used to play for the Dolphins, Tampa. Can you get back to the topic, Miami? No one cares about Steve DeBerg. Go ahead, Legion.
Oh no, I'm just chilling, sitting back, listening to this, man, because I'm only dreaming of our situation being sick because we are trash, bro. I mean, I'm gonna watch Darnold tomorrow with no weapons, no.
That's going to be bad. Especially Frisco lost last week to Arizona, and they got to fly cross country. That's bad, man. Yeah, that's going to be a bad one.
So I'm just.
Well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question then,
Yeah, sure.
Legion. You get a top 3 pick. You taking Trevor Lawrence or Fields?
If we don't get rid of Gase, you got to take Trevor Lawrence because I like Sam Darnold, but they're doing him a disservice.
Because I can see that with the Jets too. If the Jets get a top 3 pick, they're getting a new quarterback. I'll tell you that right now. They're not going to go for the kid from Oregon. Now, Larry, back to you. Would you take the offensive tackle from Oregon? Because they compare him to another Jimbo Covert.
Actually, probably more Jonathan Ogden, Jimbo Corbett.
Okay.
Go higher, buddy. Go.
Okay.
I know why. I think Jimbo was a Jet fan or was a Giant. It was a Giant, right?
No, the Bears.
Oh, Jimbo Covert.
Yeah, he was with Marino in college at Pitt. That's Marino's best friend. Yeah, Jimbo
I thought
Covert.
in the pros he was with the Jets.
No, he was with the Bears. He was with the 85 Bears.
Okay. No. If you're going to compare him to a legend, it's going to be a Jonathan Ogden or one of those guys, or Anthony Munoz, real legends in offensive tackle.
Covert's a legend, you know.
No, not the level of those two guys. Okay.
Proof in the pudding. Okay.
Proof of the first ballot, almost unanimous Hall of Fame choices, offensive tackles. Yeah. Ogden was a stud, as well as Anthony Munoz. So anyway, let's get back to the topic. The Jets have so much needs. You know what, guys? It depends on the draft itself. Everybody wants to make blanket statements, but there's a lot of variables that go into it. If I had this past year, if I had a top 5 pick and I had a lot of needs, I would try to get a real haul for that number 5 pick, because this was a deep draft. Okay. And we're seeing that. The Dolphins are a prime example. Man, we got Solomon Kinley in the 4th round. He's starting. And it's not a fluke. Across the league, a lot of the 4th and 5th rounders are starting or being a big part of their team. Well, this wasn't a deep draft. This upcoming draft is not that deep. So
it's deep at quarterback, though. And that's what they care about.
Okay, but wait a minute. But we're talking about a complete overhaul here of a team, right?
Yeah.
So that means you need more than just a quarterback.
Well,
and I'm saying this is not the draft. This is not the Jets. They need more than just a quarterback.
Well, with me, Larry, to be honest with you, in this draft alone, coming up, get me the best receiver, get me the best running back, get me the best middle linebacker, and get me the best offensive tackle. NBA fan, come on up, bro.
Yeah, but you understand, right?
Yeah.
This is not a deep draft. There are a lot of top wide receivers, all that. But once you get to the 2nd and 3rd round, they're all gone.
Yeah, but Larry, that's what I'm trying to tell you, my brother. We got 2 1s, 2 2s. Do it.
But I'm talking about the Jets. I'm
talking about the Dolphins. I'm talking
now we're talking about the Dolphins.
I don't care about the Jets right now. This is Dolphins I'm telling you about. Give me the best receiver. Give me the best running back. Give me the best middle linebacker.
But he's the Jet fan. He asked the questions.
Well, I mean, put like this: the Jets need so much. Everything you're saying the Dolphins need, the Jets need as well too. So,
but you don't have the capital we have.
Oh no, actually we do. We haven't spent ish. We have a lot.
By the way, I hate to.
You got a lot of draft picks.
We got a lot of talent.
I'm thinking of. I'm an idiot. My bad.
You're speaking about money. We're talking draft picks.
Right. Well, draft picks we have. We have the 3rd from the Giants. Did that get used up?
No, that didn't get used up.
I'm not sure.
We got 4 picks in the top. I'm gonna say the top
first 2 rounds.
40, the first 2 rounds, probably in the top 45. Because Houston's gonna be bad.
Yeah, we don't.
I can tell you that right now.
We have the 2 first because Seattle, and then we have.
I gotta correct Mace. I'm sorry. I gotta get you off that mindset. We only got 1 top number 1 pick and 1 number 2 because we're not gonna be bad. Okay, stop it.
Okay,
our pick is gonna be in the mid-20s, and
but who has Aaron Rodgers touch? What the hell? Hell no. Hell no.
Paul G, NBA fan, get up here.
Stop it. Aaron Rodgers has legendary ability in touch, power, everything. Stop. He's a quintessential
different type of quarterback.
He's talking about Mr. Miami.
Aaron Rodgers, your quintessential gunslinger. Yeah.
Gunslinger with control. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you're right. They're different types of quarterback. Just like Aaron Rodgers is different from Drew Brees. Are they both great? Absolutely. They're just 2 different types of quarterbacks. So I wouldn't compare him to, in all fairness, I wouldn't compare him to Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so
I'm gonna get right back to it. Mr. Miami says that draft Patrick Surtain Jr. That's not a bad move Draft the best safety in the draft. That's not a bad move. The best defensive end. I know where he's going with this. That's not a bad move. Let me see. And Paul G says he likes drafting both sides of the trenches. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with that theory. Getting back to
if you did have the number 1 draft pick, right, but you thought Tua was it, would you trade that first?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You might get the Saints what was that trade? Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams. No, I don't want that trade.
I think we just got
I think that trade was kind of overrated overall.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, because
I'm being real with this. I think we got that with the Tunsil trade. I'm telling you, Houston.
Yeah, I'd rather have 2 number 1s and a number 2 than 13 draft picks, because after the 3rd round, every round you go up and draft, odds of finding a player are less and less.
I agree with that.
What I would demand if I was the Dolphins, I would demand at least a minimum 2 number 1 draft picks.
You know who I would trade with?
1 this year, 1 next year.
Larry, you know who I would trade with? I'll trade with his Jets, bro.
Yeah,
I would.
And I would
the Jets got 2 number 1s, bro. I'll take the Giants 3rd rounder 2, and you can have the number 1 pick in the draft, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be more than
that. Your quarterback
at a minimum. If you don't have 2 number 1 picks on the table, and by the way, I'm just as happy to get it next year, the following year.
Yep, me too. 2022.
Okay. Right,
the more the merrier.
The pipelines again, but it's got to be 2 number 1s and preferably 2 number 2s with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how much I ask for it depends how far back we have to fall back. Okay, if I'm number 1 and I'm falling back to number 3, okay, I'll be happy with 2 number 1s and a 2. Because we're still going to get a quality superstar player. At 5, you go up the ladder. It depends, guys. It depends on each. Again, there's a lot of variables. This year, past year, I could have gone to number 10, 12. I'd be happy because you're getting elite talent. This draft was heavy in elite talent. Okay. That's facts. Okay, next year depends how many. As of right now, the elite talent that I know for sure, and I'm not no expert, right? And I have to. That's one of the reasons now I'll be following these guys. No, but I've seen a couple of these players already, and I know when they're speaking, they're elite talent. Okay, it's Trevor Lawrence, it's Penny Sewell. Okay, it's Micah Parsons, the linebacker at Penn State. After that, even Justin Fields. I don't know. You got to prove it. To me, I didn't see nothing about Justin Fields impressed me as a quarterback. A great athlete, a great thrower, finds the open receiver. But, when I see a Tua, when I see a Trevor Lawrence, their leadership just shines through their accuracy, their calmness just shines through on that TV set. I didn't see that with Justin Fields.
Mr. Miami, I'm going to type something for you in the chat, okay, while Larry keeps talking. Go ahead, Larry.
So, no, I'm finished, but point is, it depends how many elite players, because I want to get, as a team, I always want to draft an elite player. Okay, they're not many in the course of a draft. Usually you'd be lucky if they're 5. This past draft was ridiculous. I think we have 5 wide receivers alone. And at least 4 wide receivers, 4 offensive tackle, offensive linemen alone were considered elite. Then you have the quarterback in there. I don't consider Herbert elite, by the way. I think that he was way overrated.
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but then you had Isaiah Simmons, and then you had, Chase Young. This was a draft that any other year, any one of those players I mentioned could have gone number 1 in the draft at any other year. But that's not the case next year. You're going to maybe have 3 that I know in my mind for sure. The others I got to see how far up. But that determines how far back in my asking price. So if I see 4 of them, and my asking price will not be as high to drop from 1 to 4, because I know I'm going to get one of those elite players.
How do you feel about the tackles coming to draft? So we got the guy from Oregon, but you got guys like Leatherwood. You got a Kosti from Texas. You got a Cosme. What was his name?
Samuel Cosme of Texas. Yeah.
You got Walter Little, Stanford.
Yeah, Walker Little, Stanford. This past class was exceptional, and I think Alex Leatherwood did the smart thing and jumped out going to next year, because no way it was going to be. Walker Little had injury problems, so that was a smart thing to do. But even beyond that, both of them were smart just on draft strategy alone, because they were not going to go in the first round. Walker Little probably wouldn't even gone in the 3rd round of this past year's draft. Maybe even Leatherwood too, because Leatherwood, Josh Jones, in those areas, I rated them about the same, and they got drafted in the 3rd round. Okay, so they got smart. That's what I'm talking. This draft. we talked about the Dolphins draft strategy. I wasn't pissed off on who they draft. I was pissed off that they couldn't accumulate more draft picks.
Bingo.
But using next year's draft, I would have given up a second for a third round this past year, because this third round had second round talent and some first round talents dropped in there. Okay, that's how it happened. That's what I'm saying. Everything, it's hard to be when you put an answer out there in anything in life. There's so many variables and so many things you have to do in making a decision. That's now. After I'm saying that, then I'm going to give the Dolphins an out. I think a lot of teams try to. I think that was the problem. A lot of teams wanted multiple draft picks this past, so nobody was trading their draft pick. And the other reason is it was so deep, every team knew they could address whatever specific issue they had with a quality player. They didn't have to draft up to get that quality player. Let's say like this year's was sick with offensive tackles. It was just a sick year, okay? Let's say it was only 2 of them instead of the 4, and there was only maybe 2 or 3 that ended up between after the top 4 into the second and third round. Maybe if you need an offensive tackle, you would have to move up the draft to get him. Okay, this year needed offensive tackle. No, my God, you had first round graded talent like Lucas Niang and all these guys dropping into the second round. You need a tackle. You didn't have to do that. The only position you probably had to move up for was safety. I think that was the weakness of this past draft, the safeties, and tight ends were lousy in this draft. So other than that, I mean, you need a cornerback. Hey, you got what's the name? AJ Terrell in the second round. He's playing great. We had Noah Malapi. People were saying, how can you draft? He's not yes, he is a first round talent. That's how deep the cornerback draft. The Miami made the decision to draft him over Terrell because he fits their style of play of press coverage with Dante Watt. Plus, he's only 20 years old, still growing. Incredible acquisition. I was pissed off at the time of the draft not because of Noah the talent, but because I had cornerback like my third area of need. Okay, I mean not third. I'm third level need. First level we know the big 4. We need a quarterback, offensive tackle, a safety. I didn't even have running back there because I think you get one a free agent or there. I put him in the second level, and they and I said 2 offensive tackles they should have drafted, which they ended up doing when they got Hunt in the second round. But that's why I was upset with Noah. The talent stuff, no. The kid, guys, a lot of these second round players, I'm telling you, are first round talents. Okay, Robert Hunt's look at the safeties that dropped. Any other year, the teams that would have had safety needs would have taken them in the first round. No, but
where did that dude from LSU go? The safety,
Cleveland.
Oh, he went to Cleveland. Oh, man.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Teams like the Browns, they get all this talent, and they're still a 6-win team. Miami, my problem with this draft, Larry, I think they could have done more with all their assets. They should have traded up more, traded down more, and accumulate. They didn't do that.
Yeah, but you know what, Mace, remember, I get a caveat to that. Remember, the other teams, you have to find another winning partner, and I don't think there were a willing partner out there. That had to be because everybody, come on, a blind GM. Oh, wait a minute, the Jet GM is not this dummy guy. Probably would trade if you asked him. But everybody there say, why do I have to trade? I want, Kansas City says, I'm happy with either Edwards-Helaire or DeAndre Swift. I don't have to trade out of my 26th pick. The only team that traded down was basically Green Bay because they wanted Jordan Love, and that's where the quarterback I got why they did. I thought it was wrong. That's another story with Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was wrong. And it was Tampa and San Francisco. And they only did it because San Francisco knew Tampa was going to take turns, so they switched one spot only. So they picked up extra draft capital, and Tampa knew that San Francisco wanted a wide receiver, and teams like the Dolphins would have traded up to get him, to get that spot to get Worth. I think that was a possibility, and they would have picked up extra, and they still would have gotten a quality wide receiver number 18. So this is one of the few areas I could have seen a trade happen, but once Tampa decided not going to let anybody sneak ahead of them and trade with San Francisco, that's one of the few trades that and the Green Bay were the only 2 trade-ups because I think it was a deep draft and nobody had the motivation to trade back in the draft.
Bobby Hunt is a beast coaching in Cleveland, according to Paul Z's. While Cleveland's downfall, Cleveland needs to run the football and play action, and the Miami Dolphins going to need new wide receivers soon in the draft. I absolutely agree with Phil 5.
We'll see. Okay, we'll see. The season's early, guys. We got, first of all, my problem with our core is just Devontae Parker. It's this injury history is guys.
Morgan,
I
let's
think
call it
Devontae,
spade. Let's call it spade.
yeah,
Quarterback, injury prone.
injury prone.
Wide receivers, injury prone.
You're right.
Tight
That's
end,
the issue. But
we got
talent wise, we don't need. How many teams have two quality receivers like we have in Devontae Parker and Preston Williams?
Yeah, but they're hurt.
Well, Preston Williams, he's coming back from it. You know that. So that's not a problem. He's not injury prone. It's just the way it is in football. Sometimes people get a knee. Devontae Parker has the history. Yeah, a big history.
DJ Moss, I love you, bro. Welcome back today, my brother. Hey, look. Here's the bottom line. Legion, get in here too for this. Here's the bottom line. Our ownership, he's a clown. You do not announce to the world a year and a half ago that you're going to take a 3-year sabbatical to get a franchise quarterback and basically telling the world you're tanking. And as far as the Johnson brothers go, they've always been clowns. Always been clowns.
They're the worst owners, I believe, in all of football. They're dumb. They're proud. They inherited the wealth. They didn't work for it. The Johnson & Johnson family. No one likes him in New York. No one respects him. No one wants.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Only people that like him are like shills like Boomer Esiason, who basically probably just took a job from him. He's a clown. He was trapped for the Jets when he got here. He's an idiot. I honestly, guy, like they're very few. Like they're one of the worst. I mean, for the simple fact that they want to be in charge of hiring all the coaches, right? So, one of the reasons why a lot of players, a lot of teams fail. You mentioned one thing about the Browns, right? Acquiring talent. If you don't have synergy between the owner, the GM, and a coach, you're more than likely going to fail a lot of the time. You never get teams that win when they have a mismatch with regards to the ownership GM. Like, what I mean? If you have an ownership GM, but then they fire the GM but keep the coach, and they keep going along, then they keep the coach, then they fire the coach but they have a new GM, and then they'll hire the ownership. This is the Jets. They'll hire the coach instead of allowing the GM to do it. Now, you have a guy in Joe Douglas who came from I know people like the Phillies, but the Philadelphia Eagles, what they've been doing, I can't lie and sit here and say they've not been vastly improved since years prior. And then you take into account he also came from the Ravens, Joe Douglas, that is, right? And they won't give him the power to hire the coach. Now, here's the idiocy of it, right? You're the Jets. People already see you as a laughing stock. How do you build credibility? It's through your front office. You allow those guys to bring talent in the front office from places they've been. If I have Bill Belichick, Bill Belichick, because his tree's kind of been sucking, but put like this, even use Bill Belichick, use a Walsh when he was with the 49ers, may he rest in peace. Save those guys, say, hey, we want to come over to the Jets, but we want to bring our whole coach tree, blah, blah. Why would I sit there as a guy who doesn't know football, but I'm rich, and say, nah, let me hire the guys? Isn't that stupidity at its finest?
Mike McCarthy won the Jet job. They didn't want him.
Matt Rule, here's how dumb the Jets are, right? Matt Rule wanted the job, right? With the past GM who was trash, Mike McCagnon. He's terrible. He was terrible. He wanted Matt to hire the coaches for Matt Rule instead of allowing Matt Rule to bring in the guys from Baylor. And now look at Matt. I'm not saying the Panthers are going to be, whatever. But Matt Rule was one of the hot coaches, and we could have had him a year earlier before the Panthers overpaid for him. This is the Jets for you. We have rich billionaires who think they know football. They always want to play football, probably. They admire the guys who play football. They're the guys that no one picked on the team to play with because they were trash, they're weak, they're scrawny. And now this is their way to impose, like to get revenge on everybody. That they have a football team that people love and adore, but they're going to do things their way because they finally get to have a say at the table. This is the Jets. I watched the Jets. I really just feel bad for Sam Darnold because you have a young kid who's going to get his brain rattled. His all the little things we thought he could do from USC. He's starting to. I mean, there was a throw that he could have had to Jamison Crowder last week for a touchdown, and he paused on it and he took a sack 10 yards back behind the line of scrimmage because he's scared. And you're playing with people's lives when you do this stuff. When you mess around with the front office, you don't hire you're on Adam Gase. I mean, for the simple fact that Miami had Gase, and they were like, we are done with this guy. You had players that were leaving. That once Adam Gase left, they got better. Kenyon Drake, Devontae Parker, Jay Ajayi. You know what I mean? Guys, as soon as they left this guy, they look like world beaters, or they look as good as what the draft position said they would be. And we hire this guy to take over our team with a young quarterback. Come on, man. Like, I just
Jeff fans.
that's why I asked what's the name? I asked my dude over here, like, do you still eat? Because sometimes when I watch the Jets, it's almost coming to apathy. I'm gonna start eating again when it turns to apathy. But I had like a slight hope for Darnold, but nah, not with Gase. This guy, I mean, if we get Trevor Lawrence, do you think Trevor Lawrence would do good with Adam Gase?
No, hopefully, if you get Trevor Lawrence, because Adam Gase is God. I don't think even Johnson would stick with him with 2 wins or 3 wins.
Yeah, we might. We have the schedule that it's murder's row schedule.
Well, everybody in the AFC East has a brutal schedule.
No, not the AFC East.
Because we have the NFC West.
Because we're playing the AFC West. Yeah, makes everybody, because we're playing the AFC West. That's Seattle, San Francisco, KC. That's brutal.
And improve Arizona.
Yeah.
In Arizona, that looked scary last week.
Hey, I saw Arizona last week. And again, the Niners' so-called great defense, no answers for Kyler Murray, no answers for DeAndre Hopkins, and no answers to an old friend of ours, Kenyon Drake. No answers.
Hold on. Can I ask a question on Kenyon Drake? So I drafted this dude in my fantasy, right? I thought he was gonna be a world. So is it that is most of the blame? Am I right when I say most of the blame should go on Adam Gase for, or was he a bad character or something like?
Here it is. Here it is. Our coach in Miami. If he don't like you, you're gone. Plain and simple. He's that type of coach. He's the highway, my way or the highway type of guy.
So you guys don't hate Kenyon Drake then?
No, Dolphin fans love him. You love him.
It was Adam Gase who didn't want him. No, you know what? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Because Adam Gase is the same way. You do it my way or the highway. He gets criticized. We don't. The reason is because, and part of it is because of Joe Douglas. Le'Veon Bell is exactly that. Why are you paying a running back that much money when the coach doesn't fit the coach's system?
Joe Douglas didn't pay him. That was Mike McCagnon.
Okay, I'm sorry, yes, but the point I'm making, that was the mistake. The Dolphins, everybody is in lockstep. We wanted this first. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to play it. They get coaches that understand that. They get the GM that understands that, buys into that, and everybody's working. So the GM, Griff's job is not only to find talented players, but talented players that fits Flores' system. Okay, so when we all go out there and say, well, we got to get this guy, we got to sign this guy, hold your horses. First of all, you got to ask yourself, like Chris Greer is asking himself, does he fit our system? He may be a great player in another system, but not necessarily in our system. So all these things have got to be factored into when you make a decision on that. And so what Flores did, he got rid of, Chris Greer did, basically Chris Greer and Flores, they got rid of all the players that not their type of players. The Kiki Alonsos and a couple other guys, and then eventually Minka Fitzpatrick. Oh, I said that name. Any guys know me? I hate to say that name. The Inca, that little sissy in the dress, the loser. That's a definition of a loser. Okay. He's so talented. He went to the All-Pro. He went to All-Pro because he had 2 good games. After that, he was nothing special. Go back and look at the tapes. He had 2 fantastic games on national television. The rest of the season, it was nothing special. So, and guess what's happening this year? He's nothing special after the first game. Invisible. He didn't even have a single tackle, and he played every down in this past game in Pittsburgh. So, the fans are upset about that. So, he's a loser. People like that. So, anyway, they went in there as a unit. This is what they're figuring out. Which gets into what you're saying, Legion, what the Jets did totally opposite. They did it piecemeal. They have no plan, no structure, no idea of how they're going to proceed, and it's paying a big price for it. You, the fans, are paying a big price for it.
Big time.
Yeah, my phone died. I was on the roll, guys, and then my phone died, so I was talking to myself for a minute there.
Guys, I gotta leave in about 15 minutes. I got to do some serious
shopping. Problem, Larry. Larry, you was tremendous today, bro. I'm disappointed. Ball game said he was going to be here. He didn't show up, so.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. Tough to
Hey, big time.
Yes,
you
sir.
there, big time?
Yes, sir.
We're talking about the topic we was talking about when we was talking about the Jets. they don't do shit right. And in my opinion, Steve Ross doesn't do anything right except build a stadium. That's where he made his billions from in real estate. And my question to you is, do you think we have good ownership in Miami?
It's a beautiful stadium, right?
Yes, it is.
I mean, the way it's going, I don't really truly believe so. But I guess time will tell. I guess time will tell. And just like Ball Game said, I brought up Chris Greer to him, and he said, I don't really want to put too much on him just yet, but I give him about another 2 years, and I think then it's pretty much done and said for him. So I agree with that. He just is not. I think he has a lot of control over it. I don't know if Flores has more control than what we think. Even though I think Flores is a good coach, and I think he could be one of the better coaches out there. But I don't think he has true control right now. Just my opinion, though.
Who, Flores?
Yep.
Well, he shouldn't. Okay, they're two different roles.
I know, Larry. I understand that. I understand what you're saying there. I get that, but I'm talking about control for the team as in being out there. I just still don't think that if the fact is that we pick up Tua, and I think Flores would have done something different with the draft that we had. I don't think he would have picked up Tua. I think we would have went in a different direction. So again, I
disagree.
I think there's an ownership there, and while we were outcoached last week, it shows that there's a direction that we're not truly going.
Okay, that first had nothing to do with Tua. What happened this past week? Okay.
No, I didn't say that had nothing.
He's talking about Flores and ownership.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me stop you right there. Okay. Football is like any other business. You got the boss, the owners, the board of directors. That's Stephen Ross, basically. They only come once in a while. They lay down the policy. They agree. They talk with the CEO and maybe their first lieutenants, like vice presidents or COO, and they say, "What's the plan?" Okay, we approve it. Go ahead, guys. You execute the plan. Ross is a good owner in that regard, but the problem is this: other Fawcett. You got to pick the right people. Okay, and in the past, he's attempted to pick the right people. It didn't pan out. Now, he feels he's got the right person now in Greer. We're going to see that. But he doesn't interfere. And guys, I'm tired of people saying, Tua was Ross's draft of Ross. This is a freaking fake media out there that's trading clicks. First of all, Flores, the impression I get from Flores, I don't have a feel on Greer. Flores is his own man. Okay, if somebody's going to try to shove anything down his ass, he's going to say, "Screw you, buddy." Okay?
But you just said ownership is the one that calls the shots, though.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, Larry. I understand what you're saying, but I also sit there and say
you wouldn't be asking the question if you understood what I'm saying. Okay, let me explain again. Maybe I didn't explain it properly. In a company, right? Companies' ultimate owners are stockholders that are represented by their board of directors, and they meet quarterly usually. That's when they sit down and determine the policy of the company, the plan of the company, the foresight of the company. Usually management, as represented by the CEO of the company, comes in and says, "These are my suggestions where we think the company should go." Okay. And the board of directors says yes or no. We're going to go that way or we're not going to go that way. That's within their power. Most of them in the big companies is always going to say yes, whatever the CEO does. But most mid-sized companies are not that way. They actually have more control. Boards have more control than that. Stephen Ross, as the owner, is a businessman. He sits down and he hires the people like a CEO, like we saw in the past. His problem wasn't that he didn't give a lot of owners. You guys complain, interfere. Ross doesn't interfere. He basically does not interfere. He hires the people. The problem is the people he hired were squat. Okay. Now he thinks he has the right person with Greer. We're going to see about that. So far, I like everything about it. Greer's gotten everybody on the same page. Flores comes in there. So the CEO gets the approval from the owner. This is the way you want to go. The owner could put input. He said, "I like Tua." Well, you know what? I think Flores even Greer might have said, "No, we don't want to trade up for Tua. We like Tua, but we don't want to give up a lot of assets for it." Where a previous owner, "No, give up the farm. Or they want it. If you read the media, Ross was so hot for Joe Burrow. He said, "Trade all our picks for bro. It didn't happen, guys. Okay, I
But
guarantee
you knew that was, but Larry, you knew that wasn't going to happen. Come on, I
we
mean,
know that.
we really,
I'm just using that as an example, right?
No, I understand that, and I was using, just like you did just now. I used mine as an example. I don't believe that the owner was the one to sit there and say that, yeah, we got to pick Tua. I don't believe that narrative either. So I don't want to be put in the same realm as that. But I do believe, I think Chris had a little bit more to do with the pick with Tua. Just my opinion, a little bit, I feel.
Okay.
And Flores is his own man. I agree with you on that. I like Flores. I think he reminds me of a Mike Tomlin a lot in many ways. But I also believe that we wouldn't have, in the narrative, that's just it is what it is. And I know that you don't believe that. If we were not going to go, Burrow was not going to happen. Cincinnati was not going to.
It was not going to happen. First of all,
yeah.
That was news media fake. No way the Dolphins going to give up that much capital to move up because they had too many holes.
Right. Exactly. Right. I agree.
Okay. No, guys, I'm not disagreeing that Flores' first choice may not have been Tua, but that's part of the process. That's what I've been saying all along. The closed door, you sit down, you put your 2 cents in, you try to come to some agreement. You're not going to have 100% agreement because somebody says probably what happened with Greer in the past. He put in his agreement, Russ heard it, and his probably was right a lot more often than Tannenbaum was right. And he said, this guy actually should have been my GM, and then hired him that way. Flores, but I put it to, he's a defensive coach. So, yeah, he probably would have wanted Isaiah. I liked Isaiah Simmons, too. I don't have a problem with him being that pick there. But Greer's right. When you have an opportunity to draft the franchise quarterback, you got to have a quarterback. Okay, this league is quarterback driven. It's not driven by a defensive end or a safety or a cornerback, even an offensive lineman. It's driven by quarterback, and we had none. We had Rosen at that. There.
I'll agree with you on that. I also, though, just because a quarterback's number one doesn't mean that that they are that prospect. There's too many narratives per the number one draft picks that say, oh, they're going to be the next Elway, Marino, Manning. And the problem is that these teams, I don't know, it could be wrong. They're looking at them to where, yep, this is it. We got to go get this kid. But do they really fit into your scheme and into your culture? Into your culture, and I think that's where a lot of these kids get destroyed. So again, if we were looking at Tua to be in that number one guy, and everybody's yelling, "Well, he's our number one. He should be better at fits." In the first week, first of all, I disagree with that.
Totally.
There's a lot of development that needs to go there by that happening. So I disagree with that. So, but you've had tons of number ones that go up to 30. Well, number ones as in the first round that have been drafted higher that have done or lower within 32, 28, 25, whatever, that have done much better. And I think that these teams have thought long and hard about what type of player are we going to get? Do they fit into our scheme? And you look at Mahomes, he fit perfectly in Kansas City. And how Alex Smith was running that show and how the team, Mahomes just went. They brought him in. And Andy Reid was so smart picking that kid up.
You brought up a great point. Remember, we always talk about it. Sometimes a player doesn't fail because he's not skilled, because he doesn't fit his scheme. So you're drafting a rookie quarterback, right? For example, I have no hair. I'm glad I have no hair, because if I was a Bills fan, I'd be scratching my head and losing what little hair I might have had left for them drafting Jake Fromm. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy, whether you believe in his ability or not, one thing is absolutely true. He does not have a strong arm. And this is Buffalo. Why are you drafting a quarterback that doesn't have a strong arm? It's a wasted draft pick. What's going to happen? He's going to go in there and play a nice Sunday. It has a nice day. Then the first game that has that 20, 30 mile an hour whipping across there, his balls are going to go boom. And you're going to wonder why the hell you drafted him for. It made no sense. That's what I'm talking about. That makes no sense. That's a blatant no sense pick. For me personally, what Green Bay did absolutely was astounding when they moved up from. I'm with Aaron Rodgers. Guys, out there, Green Bay was one victory away from going to the Super Bowl. This is a legitimate Super Bowl contending team. You don't draft for the future. You draft to take that one step more, get to the Super Bowl and win it. And they needed wide receivers as one of them. This draft was loaded. They didn't even have to trade up. They would have got a great wide receiver. Okay, like Denzel Mims went to the Jets. I love Denzel Mims, by the way.
Yeah.
Went to the Jets, okay? They could have got an outstanding wide receiver that probably would get them. Jordan Love's best a 2 to 3 year project, 2 year project. It would have been good for Miami if they chose to go that route, which they didn't.
Yeah.
I think what changed their mind was how much success they had in free agency. I think if you ask them privately with their guard down, they probably say even they were surprised how well they did in free agency and filling up holes in there, changed their outlook totally. But I think originally, if they didn't have that great free agent period, they probably would have been happy just to sit Love for a year and a half or so and develop him. But not Green Bay. You're one where it makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
With that Green Bay pick, I wasn't, when that happened, I wasn't really surprised just because it's a Green Bay way when they did that to Favre. So they bring in.
They never did it when they were one. I don't even think it was a victory. Maybe half away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
one thing in sports, and in particular football, because fortunes change on a dime. Ask the LA Rams, ask the Philadelphia Eagles how it changes in a dime. 1 year in the Super Bowl, next year they're out of the playoffs. Changes in a dime. When you have an opportunity to go to this legitimate opportunity, you got to go for it. And because that opportunity, this is the NFL, could change with an injury the next year. So
you can just tell that they're looking more towards doing something like that. Though if they weren't, they would have went. Given him. I would have been upset too, like Aaron Rodgers. I just truly think that they feel they had the success the way they did it the first time. They're going to do it again within two to 3 years.
Different management and all that. I get why they did it. They have Aaron Rodgers for another couple of years, prep a young quarterback. No, but not when because you know what happened. You don't win the Super Bowl. You don't get that player to help you to win the Super Bowl. Then you get a young player. You probably won't even get a chance to go back to the Super Bowl again for another 10, 15 years. That's the NFL. Okay, again, you don't even have to go too far back in history to see example of that, like Philadelphia. They were the Super Bowl champions 1 year. Next year, they even out of the playoffs because of injuries primarily. And then LA Rams, you thought they were going to come back to the Super Bowl. They had everything. They were building it the right way, right? Next year, boom. They're even having a hard time making the playoffs again. That is the NFL. Basically, when you have an opportunity, you got to go for the gold. Oh, you know what? 72 Fins logo. I didn't say Ross didn't want a Tua. That's what could happen there. Okay, it could be. First of all, nobody knows for sure because it's the media reporting it. Okay, but who knows? Greer wanted Tua also. A lot of people like Tua, guys. You assume that Greer didn't like Tua because Ross forced Greer to draft him. I don't think so. I like Tua too. I just wouldn't have gone up for him. Like I said, I didn't go up for him for sure because of his injury history. I would not have moved up for him and wasted all that draft capital. And I said it's one of the Dolphins back then. You go back to my pre-draft. The Dolphins are one of those unique teams that could actually take a chance on Tua. Okay, because if it doesn't fail out, they still got 2 draft picks the next year to draft the next quarterback there. So they were in a unique situation. Mace, my friend, Mace, you're falling asleep on us, buddy. Wake up. Mace is sleeping. La 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 la.
All right, Larry.
Yeah, I know. 5-hour show late into the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I gotta go. Okay, yeah, I so tell Mace it was a great show. I'll hop on whenever I can. Okay.
All right, Larry.
Thank you. Stay safe, my friend.
You too, brother.
Yo, Laro, get up, bro. Laro, get up here. 72 logo, get up here, bro. Larry Lowe left. Big time. Take off your mic. Let's go. Sorry about that, man. I haven't been sleeping lately. Get some people up here. Larry had to go. Yeah, he had to go shopping for tomorrow. And big time, you was in here yet. God damn, do Larry cook? Larry L cook a feast just to watch a Dolphin game on TV, bro. Mace, I can't come up. Have housework to do. I'm listening, but Larry is completely correct. Ross complains about it. I heard him say it. Yeah. Stephen Ross, bro. Big time. You was
Yes, sir.
absolutely correct what you said to Larry a few minutes ago about ownership. I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, Sean Jones is back up. Mace, wake up. Did I fall asleep that long, bro?
You did, man. You did. You were dreaming. You were dreaming the good life, man.
No, it wasn't a good life, man. I didn't know I knocked out like that. I'm so sorry, fellas. I'm up, little Sean Jones. I'm up, bro. Lauro, get up here, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, I think he's an idiot. I will kill him this week. Stephen Ross. I think for him to broadcast to the world that what he did about our plans a year and a half ago was absolutely asinine. Asinine. I told the world what we're planning to do. What's your comments about that, Big Time?
I don't know. Y'all have a little bit more history and education. I'd have to learn a little bit more to it. Larry has a lot of different views on things that I would never really look into. That definitely something to learn from. So I'm just interested in how it's going to look this weekend. It's all just, what's going to happen, how the coaches are getting our kids prepared, and how we're gonna the diversity, how we're gonna work through it. So good or bad, we need something positive to come out of this, or we're gonna see a lot of people chomping at the bit again. So
I feel you. And shout out to Randy Basil, one of the most important people in my life. That's my nephew who signed the logo and looking fresh with the cut. Thank you, and nephew. I love you, kid. I do. And get ready to do a thumbnail for me in a little bit when I'm done here. Right? Got a big show tonight. No sports tonight, fellas. Be back tomorrow morning for the 11 o'clock pregame show, 4:30 postgame show, and that is a Dolphins postgame show. So big time. I expect you here 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for the pregame, and then around the NFL, we'll talk nothing but football. And tomorrow afternoon, 4:30, we will talk the wrap up with the Dolphins. Okay, so that's me, you, Havoc, and ball game. Hopefully, Larry will come through, and we'll have a nice panel. And 72's logo will come through, and we'll have a good show tomorrow for damn sure. It's football Sunday, bro. Was you in here when Vision said what he said yesterday?
what was that?
That he wanted to talk NBA and we was all talking football. And I told him, bro, this is the USFA. We talk football every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And the whole panel was cracking up at him.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hysterical. My man wanted to talk NBA. And then when he comes back, 3 hours later, we're talking NBA.
Yeah, it is funny. Vision has a lot of spunk to him, right? He shows a lot of.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I love him,
cool,
man.
Which is cool. He shows a lot of he shows a lot of that.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool. I'm just glad, man. How long I was knocked out? Like 3 or 4 minutes?
Oh no, I think you were probably knocked out about 10. I think.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that, man.
All right, I think Larry went off on some of his tangents and started speaking, and then threw a few of my thoughts in there, but yeah, and then he just ended up leaving. So
yeah, he had to go out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, hey, I cannot believe I've done basically 2 weeks of this, man. Seriously. I started on, I think it was Monday, the 7th, Labor Day I started. I only took off last Monday, and every day I've been on except last Monday.
Yeah.
That just passed. So this is going to be the week this week. I will be on tomorrow, of course, at the pre and the post. Then I will probably be on. I'll probably take Monday off again, and then Tuesday through Sunday we rock, man. Tuesday through Sunday we rock it.
So you have four. Mace. You have four platforms out there that are Dolphin fans. You know what differs you from the other three?
I do all the sports. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk right now. We could talk. I could do all the matchups right now. They're not doing that. I could talk hockey. They're not doing that. I can do baseball, which I will do. I'll get somebody up for the playoffs up here and break down the baseball series. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's the difference between me and them. I mean, they're all psycho Dolphin fans, man.
Yeah.
Clay Flexen. I'm going to have Doug Do-Right next week here, to talk Dolphins because that's his job. But
yeah.
That's all they talk about, those guys. I talk everything. That's the difference. I'm not Dolphin-centric. The only reason why I put the Dolphins in because I know guys like 72 Logo, Larry L., Sean Jones, Mr. Miami, they're going to be here. They're proving it. So I have to throw them a bone. It's like the NBA. It's big time, honestly. You really think I want to talk NBA? Honestly? You think I do?
Oh, I mean, do I think you do?
Yes.
Well, we have before, so I'd say yeah.
The only reason why I do NBA because I know there's a lot of brothers out here that love basketball.
Yeah.
Next Saturday night at 9:30, I'm gonna have an all boxing show in here, and because guys want to talk the fights. You think I care about the fights?
Probably not.
But I have to do it.
Right. Exactly.
If a guy, if I get a couple of guys say, "Yo, won't you talk Premier League soccer?" I'll get somebody in here who can do it for them.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make my network bigger, better, and more people going to come here for what they want.
Yeah, more diverse for sure.
There you go. That's why. 72 Logos popped up. Get my brother up here. Yeah, that's why I do what I do.
Hey.
But am I Dolphin-centric? No. Not at all. 72 Logo, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, buddy?
We're good, bro. We're
you
good.
Hear me?
I hear you crystal clear.
Okay, cool. No, I got a lot of housework to do, but I only could be on a few minutes. But Larry, he was right and he was wrong, because in the past, Ross has complained about not drafting a quarterback in the first round.
We all know what happened 2 years ago. Yep. Definitely. The Lamar Jackson pick. He didn't want Minka Fitzpatrick.
I think I'm drafting Tua. They had to draft him.
Interesting.
You understand?
I know what you're saying.
You hear me?
I hear you crystal clear. I know what you're saying. You said they had to draft Tua. I don't think so, but
I know Larry's not there to defend himself, but I live in Miami. I read the papers, and I heard him completely say that a couple years ago. And I think they were forced to draft Tua. That's my opinion.
I agree with that. I agree. I think that was a Stevie Ross pick. I don't know. Larry's wrong. That was a Stevie Ross pick. You could tell on Flores' face. He wasn't so happy taking him. You agree with that, big time?
Another thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Fins.
On the drafting, how are we going to find out about Tua if he's not going to play this year. He has to play sometime in this year to find out what we have. Because even if he fails, at least we know that he has the it factor. We know that he has talent to play the game. If we don't put him in there, how the hell are we going to know he has talent on?
What week would you put him through? What week would you put Tua in?
That way we could cover our asses. I'll put him right now.
Okay.
Sunday.
Big time. You agree with that?
He's healthy. He's healthy. He's ready to go. He's got to make mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Franchise quarterback. If we don't put him in there, Marino went in there as a rookie. Look at Joe Burrow.
He looks good
there with a lousy team. You saw his talent. He's got talent. That's what I need to see from Tua. If
very
he has
accurate.
The talent to play in this game.
Yeah, he's very accurate,
you know
Joe Burrow. He's looked good so far. Big time.
Yeah, he looked good. So that if him and Tua was supposedly before he got injured, he was supposed to be the number 1 pick. Period.
Yeah.
So
big time. Go ahead.
Same level of talent as Burrow.
Yeah.
So what's the problem? When the doctor said he's 100% ready.
Yeah, I agree with you. Big time.
He's not a great. I appreciate his heart and his mind, but he's a great quarterback. He's not these.
Yeah, big time. Go ahead.
I mean, you can. I could agree and disagree. It can go both ways. You can start the quarterback, the rookie quarterback the first year and wait the next year. There's been, history will prove both sides, and I agree. I'm not saying I disagree with that. And you're right. 72, that if Tua didn't get hurt, and this is if, but he did, he probably would be number 1 over Burrow within that draft if he didn't get hurt. Also, though, do you know that if he would have came out of the draft, though, because if he didn't get hurt, would he had stayed in another year? So that's another thing that we have to think about. There's a lot of intangibles here that we go back and forth, and I believe that everybody feels the same way and thinks the same way. Just again, there's a little bit different thought process here. You talk about Burrow starting. They don't have a rookie. They don't have a veteran quarterback. As in, you look at Fitzpatrick. I'm not saying that he's great, but he is a veteran quarterback that you can, he's a Band-Aid. You're going to pull it off sooner or later, and you're going to start Tua. Again, you look at back in Cincinnati's day when they had Kitna. They had him for a whole year. They weren't going to start. They weren't going to start Palmer, even though I think Palmer could have been ready. But look at what he did. Also, Cincinnati, with Burrow, he does have weapons there, and he does have talent there. You have Mixon, you have Green. Green is a great. That's another thing. I think Burrow would be struggling more if Green wasn't there. Green is a talented veteran that still has a year's left.
I agree with you 100%.
And if Green wasn't there, I think Burrow would be looking around and he would be having a harder time adjusting. But this is just one game, though. Now, do I believe that, if Fitzpatrick struggles in the next game against Buffalo, which most likely will happen, do we start him next? I think Jacksonville's the game to do it, but I also believe that we could wait and just say, let's wait a little bit longer. But then you're sitting there going, what is it worth to wait for him if he, that he's healthy? Because he is healthy. There's no reason to say that he's not healthy. The question is that there's something with I think that Flores is saying, they have a strategy here and they're getting him ready. The question is, when does Flores want to unleash him? Does he want to unleash him, in the week 3? Because there's rumors right now going around, and I've been seeing it even in the other chat rooms, that he has an opportunity, that he's been taking most reps with this week. So, They could be preparing him to get ready, I mean, you look at what earlier when I lost connection, you look at what Larry said about the two comparisons between Rosen and Kyle Murray. Dude, that's like oil and water. There's no comparison between those two. I'm sorry, when you put Rosen in there that had no choice but to go in there. And I'm guaranteeing you that coach was going to hold him for a whole year and not start him. Then you start him, you're throwing him to the wolves like David Klingler, and now he has happy feet. You don't know what he's doing. He's scared. Now you know what you probably have because you started that shit. But the difference between Kyler Murray and Rosen is day and night. Kyler Murray can run the ball. He can scramble. He's a better athlete. So comparing those two was ridiculous to me. But overall, I think there's a strategy here with Flores, and I think when he's ready to put him in, he will. Whether it be this year, which I'm assuming it will, because I think it would happen after the bye week, and I think that's where it was going to happen because I don't think Fitzpatrick would have held up that long. But if he doesn't hold up any longer than he does now, yeah, I think we'll see him much sooner because there's too much going on with these fans that are asking for somebody's head right now. Just my opinion, though.
No,
I value your opinion. That's good. It's real good.
because what Larry was basically saying was that I brought up to him that when was the last team that back-to-back years took a quarterback? Arizona did it 2 years ago. What I was saying about the Dolphins is because of the draft capital they have. Yeah. They can afford, if it doesn't work out this year, to go get Trevor Lawrence. They can afford to do that.
Yeah, I get that. And how many times does that happen? It doesn't happen too often, and it shows that. So I get that perspective of it. I just hope that first of all, I do think Tua is very talented. So to say hope that he comes through, it's hard to say. To only give him a short amount of time, I think is shit. I just think that quarterbacks that if you have a good coach, and you have a coach that believes in you, then you're going to do that. But again, you got to go for what's good. We don't even know, though, if Trevor Lawrence fits into our scheme, though. He can come here and he can totally flop. So we're taking a chance by doing that. I think Kyler Murray fit into Arizona's scheme. Does Trevor Lawrence, that's another thing we have to look at. Does Trevor Lawrence fit into our scheme, into our culture? If he does, fine, we'll take him. Hopefully Tua goes somewhere else and then he balls somewhere else, which I hope he does. But I just think that we have to look at if he fits into our scheme, which is Trevor Lawrence.
Ben,
do you remember back in I think the 90s, probably, I believe it was. I'm sure it was 90s, early 2000s, when the Packers had about 4 quarterbacks there. One was a Famer, 2 Hall of Famer. One was going to be a Hall of Famer. And another one played also for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Matt Hasselbeck. Yeah, Matt Hasselbeck.
Every year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Brunell.
The guy that
Hasselbeck. Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
That's why I say I believe in draft a quarterback, even though if it's in the second or third round, draft a quarterback every year because you never know when you're going to hit that one player that's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's a good idea to quarterback every year, even though he goes to a backup role.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, just did it, and they won championships.
Yeah, I buy it.
So
yeah,
if the Dolphins doesn't win a lot of games, during the top 5 pick up a quarterback, I'll draft a quarterback again. My opinion.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I agree. Big time, go ahead.
No, I mean that's about.
And they like back to the days, like in the 80s, in the 90s, when quarterbacks used to come from left and right. Not no more. They're watered down, man.
No, that's a valid point. I mean, I'll give it to you. I think my fear is that we're going to become, if we start this trend because we have all these picks and then Trevor Lawrence doesn't add up to being that guy and then let's say Tua fails, but I feel we wouldn't have given him enough time. I don't feel that's enough time. Again, I think that's culture with the coach in trusting him and giving him his trust. Then I think they play better. But like you said, I think that if we do pick up a quarterback and then we have the draft to pick up another quarterback the following year after that, if Lawrence doesn't do so hot, then we're going into the same realm as Cleveland's Cleveland's team where we drafted multiple quarterbacks that have failed and they're still failing. You go into Washington, multiple fails and they're still fails. You go into Denver, multiple fails. You go in the Jets, multiple fails. I don't want to be a quarterback killing team. I just don't
been
want
that way. We already been that way for the last 22 years.
Well, I don't know about quarterback killers. We've drafted a couple quarterbacks, but as in actually, taking quarterbacks from another team. Yeah, we've taken their dirt. That's what we've done. But as in drafting our own quarterback, not so much.
Imagine this, guys. The first quarterback drafted in the first round, Dan Marino. Is that crazy? There's no excuse for that, man. How are you not going to draft a quarterback in the first round in 20 years or more?
Did you really believe?
That's why, they had to draft a quarterback.
For the first 10 and a half years of Dan Marino.
The third, fourth rounds, yes.
Yeah.
Did you really believe in the first 10 and a half years before you got hurt in Cleveland that Dan Marino needed someone the Dolphins needed to draft someone?
You know something? I'm going to defend a lot of people. That's when I was into the show that Achilles injury. I don't believe that. You know why? Because that Achilles injury, the next year, the first game, it was against New England. He threw for 400-something yards, 4 touchdowns. He had talent on him. The problem with Marino was he never had a running game and he never had a great defense.
Have you seen Marino's leg?
The great defense.
Have you seen Marino's leg since he had the Achilles? Like I say, 20 years ago, how his leg looked.
Yeah,
that wasn't fake.
But still was Marino. He still had the mind. He still had the arm. He still knew that he was nimble enough to get away. He had quicker, so he got sacked.
Paul G says no quarterback killer, but failed to develop quarterback.
Let's be honest here. Jimmy Johnson hold back Marino a lot. Took the reins away from him. He couldn't be honorable anymore. He couldn't change plays on the scrimmage like he used to be with Chula. And plus, they didn't have a running game, man.
That's true. Big time. What you think about that?
No, I mean, I'm listening. I'm listening to 72. I mean, I'm agreeing with what he's saying. That what he's preaching. I agree.
Okay.
Especially when they were in '84 with the Super Bowl, they didn't have a defense. Sorry. They made it to the Super Bowl on Marino's arm. And they didn't have a running game. It's amazing he did just to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say this about Marino. No, he didn't have a running game. No, he didn't really have a defense. He was getting a defense, but Marino just couldn't hold up no more with his legs, he said, and I agree with that. Bottom line is this, in Miami.
I agree with that. And his career, yes, he wasn't the same player as far as, even though he used to a little feet to get out, he didn't have it anymore.
Here's the problem in Miami, okay? For the last 23 years, their front office and their scouts can't draft for shit. That's the bottom line. I gave an analogy.
Yeah, no doubt.
I gave an analogy the other night. I said Joe Thomas, George Young, who built the Killer Bees defense in the 77, 78 drafts. A young surfer boy named Bobby Beffert. When the Dolphins had those 3 men in the front office, they were invincible. In 1970, they were invincible. But here's the problem. Your ownership had an ego, and he was mad that he wasn't getting all the credit, but Shula got so much credit. So this is the following that happened. Joe Thomas left Miami in 1978, went to San Francisco, won to win 4 Super Bowls for the 49ers. Wow. George Young left us, went to the Giants, and won 2 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the killer.
True.
The young surfer boy named Bobby Beffert went to Washington. Granted, 2 of them were strike years, but he won 3 Super Bowls and now is in the Hall of Fame. Miami had that type of brain trust in the front office 50 years ago. And look what's happened to them since those 3 men have walked away. Nothing.
You know something? To be honest with you, let me tell you something. Another thing that I want to tell you. When Shula was let go for
Jimmy Johnson.
The Dolphins went downhill, bro.
Totally agree.
Because every year
Facts.
the Dolphins were in the playoffs. Every year.
It's calm.
That's what I call it. The curse of Shula.
Facts.
Because it was going to come back. But they had to let him
What you
go.
think?
He lost his touch. Bullshit. Matter of fact, he almost went to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, the Dolphins missed a kick, and they didn't make
Pete
it.
Stoyanovich.
Remember that?
Yep, like it happened an hour ago. Big time. Go ahead.
I just can't believe the Pittsburgh Steelers try to steal a nickname from us like the Killer Bees. Can't believe that happened.
You know why?
That was just a joke. I mean, that's true. I'm laughing about it, but I can't believe they did. It's like us calling ourselves the Orange Crush.
You know why?
From Denver. It's just funny.
Because Pittsburgh is relevant. We're not.
Yeah.
That's why. Dolphins has been not relevant in like the last 25 years. Pittsburgh is always relevant. That's why.
Make up your own nickname, because we have a couple of ours too. Just let you know. So I'm just saying that was kind of cheesy.
I feel you.
But another thing is the draft picks. Last year to this day now. Everybody saying that Greer, blah blah blah, he had no power, 10 balls will make a pick. But in the last 4 years has been Greer. And if he didn't pick them, he scouted them.
With the same philosophy.
Who they rely on, the scouts.
With the same philosophy that has been going on down there for the last, God knows, 30 years. That they pick good character guys, don't pick alpha males.
That's true.
Yep. They don't pick ballers.
But
that's why when I hear,
in a way, it's true. You know why? They have been drugs, chances for them to have it.
That's why. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, guys that been cut from other teams because and they were in drugs and don't have given people chances.
That's why.
Good.
Big time. What do you think about the Dolphins organization or ever are scared to pick alpha ball players like Jamal Thomas? They're scared of those guys. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we've had this discussion. Y'all talked about, with the issue and the problem with the people bullying Bullygate or whatever it was, or I don't know. But we had talked about it yesterday, and Havoc brought up a few points about, leadership. And I think that if you have no leadership on the team, then where is that going to take, your franchise, especially guys getting in your face or telling them, hey, wake up. And I don't feel that the veterans we have on our team that are doing that. We should at least have a leader on that team, and I don't feel we do. Havoc says, we have a very young team, which we do, and that leader will develop. They'll develop into that leader, and you do hope that. And I'm sure he said it in a different way, but you do hope that we develop that there's a leader that will come about within with what we've given ourselves. But at the end of the day, you know, why did we pick up these veterans that are more so role players, even though we do need role players that are not gonna be, you know, that are gonna make a difference and be that leader that we actually need for our young boys. If that's the case, then we're not getting any leadership from our coaching staff either, which is very scary.
Well, 72.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Leaders like Dan Marino was saying, he was a leader. Used to choke guys out when they didn't make the right. We don't have guys like that. Do we now? I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, who's a good leader that really, you know, barks and people's faces and say, "Look, you got to play better." Well, you know, we don't have those leaders. I know that the coach does all that stuff, but as far as players, I don't know. I don't know.
No, we got a
But
bunch of
definitely,
nice guys.
Yeah. Remember Brian Cox? Brian Cox was what as a guy.
That's what I said last night.
The whole team. He wanted to fight the whole team.
Yep, that's what we lack. A Brian
Yes, I
Cox.
guess it was.
You're right.
Yep.
We lack the Brian Coxes. We lack the Larry Zonkas, the Jim Kicks, the Mercury Morris, the Paul Warfields, the Dick Andersons, Jake Scott. That's what we lack.
But and there's another thing. There's a difference between somebody that's bullying you and coming across that way, someone that's, you know, like Tio, or someone that's you know, just dramatic and causes issues and problems within your team. And that is the reason why they weren't, you know, considered, you know, as they could have been considered better than they were, or troublemakers. And then you have guys on the team that will get in your face, tell you what's going on because they're so competitive. And that if that's the case, look at Tom Brady. That kid has so much aggression when he's out there and so much competitiveness. If you don't have a player like that that shows you that emotion, then I have to question, what are you doing out there? You need that emotion to get you through this game. You need some type of leadership to show you, you know, what's going on and what you're doing wrong. That doesn't mean that you're bullying, just means you're not paying attention. Let's wake up. And if you don't have those guys to sit there and tell you to wake up, and then you're going to call them bullies, there's a difference. There's a very big difference, especially when you're in the huddle, or you're going back in the locker room at halftime, and they're trying to get you to wake up and start to, you know, and get you riled up, and you're going to call it something like bullying, or you're going to call it, well, that's really unnecessary. Then we have a bunch of girls playing for us, because you really need somebody in there to actually take charge more than a coach. Sometimes, you know, you have different type of coaches. You have coaches that coach players, and you have your coaches that actually coach. And sometimes you need other players to help coach your players, to understand how it is, how it's out, how you need to be out there to, you know, to get going, to get in within that. You need somebody to lead you. I'm just saying that's what you need. I don't know, man.
Express yourself, man. This is what you up here for, bro. If that's how you feel, brother, that's how you feel. I'm not gonna disagree with that.
I don't want to jump. I just don't want to jump, like saying that I could be looking at it all wrong. So I'm willing to take the criticism by any means.
Nah, man, you're hitting the point. You're hitting a home run here, bro. You're doing good. You're doing great up here, bro. Go ahead, 72 logo. Wow, he's getting up. Paul G, go to Amazon, get the newer 800.
Hello?
They got this. Yeah, I'm right here. They got the stand. They got everything you need, Paul G. Go get it. Order it now, $24.99. Go ahead, logo. Logo, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, bro. Talk. All right, he lost all communication. Big time, you're right, bro. I mean, what you said, you were spot on, man. I mean, bro, I tell you, this organization has major issues, bro. They just do. And it's from the top. Seriously, it is. Go ahead, Vince Logo.
I'm sorry, I had a phone call. I had to get off.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
missed half of the conversation. So. But yeah, I think we were talking about leaders. And, you know, I mean, you know, undrafted, maybe will emerge from.
Yeah.
So that's and also another thing. We're going back to I want to be a dead horse over it, but
Yeah.
the last couple of years draft is on him, man. Last year's draft, it was him. And how many starters did we get out of last year's draft? How many
Thinking
players are
about
still
it.
around?
Think about it. Only Christian Wilkins.
That's it, basically. Who else do we have? I mean drafted players, because
That's what I'm
Preston
saying.
Williams
Christian
was
Wilkins.
unrestricted rookie.
No, Christian
Unrestricted.
Wilkins.
I mean a free agent rookie. He was not drafted.
The receiver.
Preston
Williams.
Yeah, Preston Williams, right. Mm-hmm. Because Gesicki was here already when Tannenbaum was around, was it?
Yes, he was. 2018 draft, second round. Him and Minka Fitzpatrick.
Right. So was Tannenbaum still here when those guys got?
Yeah, he overruled. Stephen Ross wanted Lamar Jackson. He said no. He took Minka Fitzpatrick.
Okay. All right, I see. So these last couple of years, it's on Greer. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's on him.
Yeah,
let's
I
see how
agree
it
with
pans
you.
out.
Yeah.
But so far, I mean, when you have a successful draft, you can have at least 3 starters out of that draft. At least 3 starters.
Yeah, I agree. I say
We finally got 3 starters, basically.
I say with me, if I've had the picks the Dolphins had this year, this past April, I want 9 starters. I want 9. You agree with that, Big Time?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, 9 starters, bro. 9 starters from this year's draft for this past.
Yeah.
No excuses.
But in reality, the average, I mean, anybody that's drafting, any team that's drafting, in reality, if you're going to hit on a good draft, you got to have at least 5 starters. That's a good draft.
Yeah, I agree.
This Miami,
That sounds excellent.
How many rookie starters are starting right now? How many rookie starters are starting this year right now for the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, I know some of the offensive. Yeah, 2. Yeah.
That's 2 of them. On defense, did we draft Brandon Jones? I don't think he started.
No.
I don't know if he started.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wide receivers already have that there. So
I hear you.
Have 2 starters coming in.
I
mean, is
Paul
that a
G,
successful draft? I don't know.
No. Paul
You
G,
guys tell
if you
me.
still... No, it wasn't. Paul G, I got something to tell you, bro. Come back tonight, 6:30. We're going to be talking about the passport gang, okay? Guys who go overseas to get it done. So be here 6:30. I think the room is going to be lit.
So Big Time,
me
what do you
see.
think about that?
Big Time.
Yeah.
Logo asked you a question.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
How many players should to classify a good draft? How many starters you should have on day 1?
No, I mean, I think you said 5, right? At least 5, right?
Yes, at least.
Yeah,
5.
I mean, I think at least 5 or over. You should, especially with what type of what we have and then what we have now, and then what we drafted. We should be able to have more than 5 players starting for sure.
Right.
I say, and
Right now,
this
we only have
past
2.
draft, I say in this past draft, I say 9 should be starting because we had 14 picks.
Yeah, but 9 is kind of high. You know, if you look at everybody's draft, if you go around the league in the past 20 years, let's say, you have 9 starters, man. That's a lot. As a rookie.
NBA fan, I promise you, bro,
Legitimate
you will
5
get a
starters
wrench,
should be
my
okay.
brother. No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see what happens. I mean, Greer's on. He's on. His head is on the. You know, I mean, I'm sorry to say that. His job is on the line because you know this is it, man. This is it for Greer. He's been around for 20 years with the Dolphins, man.
Yeah, ball game said the same thing when we were talking about Greer, and he said, give him 2 more years and it should be pretty much said and done, and we should start doing something else. But yeah, I mean, it's no excuses anymore. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully things will turn around, but hope and pride don't get you anywhere but shit. So
Facts.
True.
That is true. Facts.
Okay, so let's talk about the Buffalo Bills game coming.
And I was going to do that tomorrow, but if you want to talk about it right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we want to talk about it right now. Well, matter of fact, big time, you go first. Tomorrow's game against Buffalo.
Oh man, well, I think it's going to be messy. I think it's going to be nasty. I just think that the Buffalo has too much speed. Their defense is crazy good, and they've been together for a couple of years. So that's another thing they have on their side. And we're just starting out. We're just rebuilding and getting everything together. But if we show what we did against the Patriots, it's going to be real ugly. I said on Larry's channel, I said 31-13, but it could get uglier than that. So I just hope that there are certain things that we're working on in within the practice, and trying to figure out what we can do to develop. And but when it comes to it, with the running issue and problem that we had with Cam Newton, and not just a full run issue, that's not going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take multiple weeks. So to sit there and think that we're going to be in this game, many people think that we are. I think we'll be very fortunate if we are. But I think overall, I think it's going to be an ugly game for us. That's where I stand on it.
I think my opinion is that Florida embarrassed last week to me, because he does run the defense. I think the defense is going to be much prepared this week. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be in the 30s. I don't believe it. I think the defense is going to come out and play better. Not dominate, but play better. And the offense, I just don't trust him right now with Fitz. Fitz, I cannot trust. So how many points they're going to score on offense, I have no idea. But I think it's going to be a close, fought game. It's going to be physical. That's what I believe. And a lot of times the Dolphins always, for some reason, when they're going to face a nasty team like Buffalo, they always rise to the occasion. I don't understand why, but they do.
Yeah, we talked about that. We
Yeah.
talked about that Thursday night. That for some strange reason, the Dolphins rise up to the occasion to play the very good teams and just lay down against what they are. They're also Rams. Go ahead, big time.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see. I'm not disagreeing with you, 72, that our defense should play better. I'm not saying that they won't, but with the issues and problems that we had through that run defense and how slow we were from the sideline to sideline, and how we were players were misplaced and misused, and how they misread. I just think that, and with the speed that Buffalo has, I'm telling you, man, I just think that we're going to get picked apart. And I understand what you're saying. I do believe that, those type of games happen, but man, the second game in the season, I just don't know, man. I think our coaching staff let us down in preparing for the Patriots, and we'll see what happens if they prepared us next week. Because if this week, if they do, then we could see a different game. But like I said, man, those things are not fixed overnight. We have a run stop. Our run defense has a problem, and it just doesn't. It's not fixed overnight. It's going to take a few weeks, if not more than multiple weeks, to fix it. It just doesn't happen overnight. Is all.
All right. Final thoughts. Go ahead, 72 Logo, and be here tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
I
We'll have
agree.
a big show.
I agree, big time.
Okay.
I agree that
Big time. Your final
Well-
thoughts. No, go ahead, Logo.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
I said yes. Big time has good points, and I respect them. But I believe that this Floyd is going to have these boys playing.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because against the Patriots, he got embarrassed, and not only that, if you look at what happened in the Patriots game, they let Cam Newton run. What happened? They're going to put 8 man or 9 man on the line of scrimmage and force this guy to pass the ball. Let's see how accurate he is with his pass. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to put 9 up in the line of scrimmage, beat me with my secondary. That's all they got to do. And not play off the receivers like, 10, 15 yards off the receivers. Do the bump and run. Bump and run, man. You got 2 great corners. And bring up the safeties to cheat a little bit so they could stop. If they decide they're going to run with the quarterback, then, you tell to spy on him, man. They didn't do that last year. They didn't do enough of it anyway.
Yeah, I hope you're right, 72. I hope you're right in that sense. I don't see it that way, but I truly hope that you're right that's what happens. So
I think the defense will play a hell of a lot better tomorrow, but I'll tell you 2 things, and then I'm going to let Pete get it. I am disappointed, but it doesn't surprise me, that the Dolphins put 13,000 tickets on sale, and they're not even close to being sold out.
That's
Go ahead,
depressing.
There you go.
First
Mace.
of all, Mace, that is depressing, and especially around this time when everybody's fiending to go out. They don't even deserve those sales, to be quite honest with you. And I'm going to honestly tell you guys exactly what's going to happen tomorrow in the Dolphins-Bills game. The Dolphins are going to lose, guys, and they're going to lose big, and here's why. This week, the Dolphins defense, and I could already feel it, they're emphasizing on stopping the RPO and the run. They're going to emphasize that all week in practice. I bet they have. Stop the run. Stop the RPO. Stop Josh Allen. They're so concerned about Josh Allen running right now that they're going to give it up through the air, and I know it. Diggs, Beasley, and John Brown are all going to be in one-on-one situations most of the games, fellas. Every time Josh Allen does a play action, he's going to hit his first receiver on the dot. He's going to be wide open. This defense is just going to be like you wouldn't even believe so lost in this game because of the emphasis that they're going to show on and only to stop the run and try to prove a point.
Yeah, Pete, don't forget about Knox. I think that's another guy that you're going to sit in there and they're going to destroy us in the middle. I think that's what I'm more worried about than anything besides that. Is that Knox could have that big game where he just totally dominates us, and then you have Diggs and Brown just totally take over the game after that.
And I agree, and that's why I mentioned Dawson Knox, because one thing I noticed, and everybody will sit here and say, "Oh, the Dolphins had the worst pass coverage last year." What I noticed is the Dolphins had the worst pass coverage out of play actions. They were emphasizing on stopping the run so much that when every time they did a play action, all the linebackers were already squeezing in all to the defensive line. They were already tied up there. So by the time the quarterback tucked his chin up to look at who's open, the first guy he looked was always wide open, and he released it quick. It was easy completions. Cole Beasley's gonna eat this game, and and I hope I'm wrong, but I totally don't see it any other way. And Josh Allen, I feel, is going to be able to do whatever he wants. Even though we got an upgraded defense, it's just the unbalance of this offense not being able to produce any first downs consistently and move the ball. If we continue to this time of possession losing heavily like that, it's going to be a long season, man. It's going to be a long season.
I agree with you, Pete.
If I, you know something, I agree to a certain extent on that. One offense strength, the secondary, right?
You're starting to break up.
Yeah, Pete, you're breaking up. I mean, excuse me. Logo, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, Logo.
Now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Their strength is their secondary. So Flores, he's going to put 9 in the box. He's going to first force Allen to beat him. He said, if you guys are going to beat me, you're going to have to do it to the air. That's what I would do if I was a defense.
And that's exactly what he did to Cam Newton last week. He tried to. That's why everybody's complaining.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
What did you hear on the other streams? TD and everybody complaining of the cornerbacks playing 5, 6, 7 yards off the back. When cornerbacks are playing off coverage, that means more than likely they're gonna send a blitz. They're stacked box, and they can't get beat, because if they get beat on a quick slant and they get a broken tackle, that's gone. You know, so they have to play safety.
True.
So at the same time, you're right. You're absolutely right. But what you have to do is go at the strength of what you don't run away from the strength. You have to go at the strength and prove to them that they're going to beat you. And that's why I'm telling you that I feel Josh Allen is going to do it all through the air against us, because we're going to emphasize stopping the run, and we're not going to be able to get first downs against them. And that's just going to keep us unbalanced the whole game. They're going to be up 14-0, let's say. We're going to be stacking the box thinking it's all good, and they're going to just run, and boom, play action, wide open John Brown. Boom, play. There's no way. The only way we could beat this game, honestly, is if we actually stay with the lead the whole game and don't play confused.
Big time.
Do you think the Jets are better defense than the Dolphins?
I think the defense of the Jets is
better?
Church,
get your ass up here.
I think their scheme is better than what we're running right now.
Yeah,
I don't think their players
Because
might be better, but I think their scheme is better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Greg Williams over
what
we have defense coordinator.
Defense give a little bit of a hard time to Buffalo in the beginning. You know what I'm trying to say?
I saw
to become throws, and he had some turnovers.
Yeah, he fumbled twice, and that game should have been 50-0.
Josh Allen started near perfect in that game.
Yes, he did.
He started off nearly. He was at one point, I think he was at 13 for like 14 or 13 for like 15. And I know the Jets' secondary isn't as good as ours. That I got to admit. So I don't see him being able to do that. But he has a chance to do that, even though we have a better. Because if we just try to stop the run, they're going to just open it up and pass all game.
Okay, I can't wait to see it.
Big time. Go ahead.
No, I mean I agree with I agree that the scheme part of it that they're much better, but talent wise I don't think they are. With the players that were always out of position, that just killed us. And these were veterans out of position, so it's scary, man. I don't care if it was the Patriots or not. They were still somebody we played. Now we're playing against Buffalo that has 2 years on us, that has tremendous talent on their team, a lot of speed. Just this team is complete, and we're going against a team that's complete. And we don't even have an identity yet, and everybody's acting like, well, yeah, we have an identity. We don't even have a leader. So yeah, I think this team's going to be. It's going to be ugly. It's going to get very ugly. And like you said, I hope 72. I hope I'm wrong about it, but I just don't see it, man. And it's going to get crazy ugly.
Boy, we're going to have a good talk tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern time, because it's going to be interesting. Because if Miami loses this game badly, we're going to have a conversation here tomorrow. Life, final thoughts, bro.
Final thoughts, fins up, just like Big Time said, or 72, one of those guys. I hope we're wrong, man, because we're at home and this is our first home game, and we need this win bad, man, because this win right here can literally motivate the rest of the team. This is a young team, man. This team needed to start off early and hot, not down. This team needs to start fast, get points on the board fast, get these guys motivated, and keep them in the game, because if it goes down early like I expect, it's just going to be a sad game to watch by just getting all these players rotating, looking like it's another preseason game.
Are you in here tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock for the pregame?
Definitely, I'm going to go ahead and try, but around 11 o'clock is when I start doing the most work for my fantasy. So
okay. I'm sorry,
I'll
bro.
definitely...
So pop up before your fantasy. Pop up after your fantasy check. I know about that. I'm gonna do fantasy tomorrow too.
That's what's up, buddy. I hope
I'm
all
gonna
you
let
guys
you
win.
know who to play, who's to not. Yo, thank you for coming,
Hey,
my brother.
my two hot plays right now, I'm calling it right now. Don't be surprised if both of these guys are one of the top receivers. T.Y. Hilton and Cole Beasley. I have this guy ranked so high, he's going to chew up Malcolm Perry or Noah Igbenogany in the slot. I feel it.
Facts. 72 Fins logo? 72 Fins.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, big time, because I'm eating something.
I'm giving you final thoughts. Go ahead, big time.
I'll just piggyback. I'll piggyback off life that fins up, and hopefully we get a little bit more aggressive out there on the defensive side. But if we don't, then the coaches failed us again, I feel, in not preparing us very well for our team and the game that we have ahead of us. Other than that, I appreciate, Mace, in life, I appreciate just having an opportunity just to speak. It's pretty cool just to get out here and get your mind right is all.
Appreciate you. You know that. You know you ride with me, ride and die with me. You know that. Okay?
Fins up, man.
That's right, baby. Fins logo, go ahead, bro, and I'm out.
Fins logo, I think he backed out, right?
Yeah, I got him right here. Go ahead, bro.
It's going to be a low game. And the Dolphins defense are going to rise to the occasion. That's my, prediction, and hopefully it'll happen.
I love it.
There you go.
I love
myself.
All right, guys.
I'll wait till tomorrow because it's gonna be a fascinating pre and post game show. I expect all you guys back here on the panel tomorrow with Havoc, Larry, and ball game tomorrow. Ty Church too. Okay, Ty, I love you, bro. And Ty Church, 6:30 tonight. Be here.
Another thing, Mace.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot. This game is gonna get even uglier if Devontae Parker is not playing.
I'll have that for you before kickoff tomorrow, right here. I'm gonna have the injury report. I'll let you guys know who's in, who's out.
Good luck on your fantasy, man. Life. Good luck on your fantasy.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys stay blessed. Enjoy tomorrow's
good luck
game,
on your fantasy,
and
man.
Let's get it, man.
All right, bro. All right,
Later, guys.
I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Right. And as I usually say no to sex. You too, bro. I love you. Say no to sex. Say no to drugs. Say no to booze. No women. Enjoy. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Good afternoon from the Oasis. Love everybody. See you tomorrow. Ty Church, I expect you in this room 6:30 tonight. It has nothing to do with sports, bro. 6:30 tonight, bro.